You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of the TADPOG podcast. What is TADPOG? What does that stand for? Where did you guys even get that?
Totally artful dudes playfully oscillate geese.
Tyler and Dave play old games. Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games.
I didn't like. Can we start over? I didn't like that.
Can we start over? Oscillating Geese is pretty good.
New Steam name.
Band name.
Yeah, good band name. Massive Dad Shits is never gonna die on Steam. It's just never gonna die. It's just too good.
So what we do here is we play old games, and we've got a deluxe set here today. We're going to talk about both of the T2 games for the Super Nintendo. Oh boy. But
Terminator
first,
2. Judgment
Day.
And the Terminator the T2 : the arcade game.
But not on the arcade, but here.
It transforms your Super Nintendo into an arcade. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yep. Just like the Terminator. It just takes shape. As soon as you put the cartridge in your SNES, it transforms into a full-size arcade cabinet with a light gun and everything.
Was that the 90s ad? Because it should have been.
It should have been.
There could have been a lot of things that they did differently on that one, for sure. But we got what we got, didn't we?
Oh, yep. Before we dive into the those big boys, what you guys been up to?
Relatively speaking, not kind of a lot, actually. You know, we were just here like less than a week ago.
Yeah, we're recording early because I'm going on a work trip, and you guys were gracious enough to record like 3 days early.
Yeah,
which is insane. I was thinking about it today, where it's like, man, how fucked up is it? Where it's like, we're recording 3 days early and we're covering 2 games.
right.
It's a good thing they were what they were.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. It's not like we're talking about, oh, we decided to do Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy VI.
So I'll cover the stuff I've been watching. Just get that out of the way.
All right, what you been watching?
I'll start with the newest one. It's called The Midnight Club. It just came out on Netflix. It's a Mike Flanagan joint.
Who's that?
Mike Flanagan directed a number of movies that I like, movies and series that I like. He did the Ouija, the movie Ouija, Origin of Evil, which I think was like a prequel to the Ouija movie.
Okay.
It's a modern version of, I think there was an older movie called Ouija. So there's that. Gerald's Game.
Oh, yeah, I saw the thumbnail for that on my one of my streaming services.
He directed Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining, which was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
We read the book. Well, we listened to the audiobook first, and then a couple years later came the movie. Ewan McGregor plays the
Danny?
grown-up Danny, and it's really good. It's disturbing as fuck, but it is a great movie. It's like 3 hours long.
I was hoping you were
just a
gonna
little
say-
shorter than this episode's probably going to be.
Yeah.
Of our show.
I was hoping you were going to say you played Obi-Wan. That'd be great.
He did.
He reprised his role of Obi-Wan and Dr. Sleep.
All it is just The Shining, only this time with Obi-Wan Kenobi saving the day.
Yeah.
Everybody's fine.
Turning down the death sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Haunting of Hill House was one that Mike Flanagan did.
Oh, okay.
And The Haunting of Bly Manor, both series on Netflix, both really good. And then, of course, there was another midnight featured title, Midnight Mass, which is another good one. So all these are on Netflix. I think maybe not Ouija. and Doctor Sleep is not. But all those other series that I was talking about are on Netflix. Check them out; they're pretty good.
Cool.
Midnight Club is good. I thought it was going to be some teenage light horror, but no, it did the trick. I liked
Midnight
it.
Club, the grown-up Midnight Society movie.
Yeah, something right, exactly.
They swing now.
Yeah, it's just 10 episodes of fucking at midnight.
Okay.
And they tell ghost stories now.
Before, after, or during.
You're not far from Red Shoe Diaries with that premise,
right?
So.
The premise of Midnight Club is that there's this kind of convalescent home, this home for teenagers who are, it's hospice. They're dying of various maladies, various cancer.
Hospice is how it's pronounced.
Hospice.
Yeah, Hospice.
The spice KFC doesn't use.
It's the 14th spice.
Yeah.
But they are staying in this place. Of course, none of them have been diagnosed with having very long to live. But kind of their whole deal is they gather together in the big creepy house's library at night and tell stories that they've made up. And each episode features a story, but then there's an overarching kind of plot that surrounds the house and the kids themselves. And
okay, that's cool.
It very tastefully deals with death, with acceptance and understanding that, you've got a terminal illness and it's going to kill you eventually. And there was a show that was on Netflix called 13 Ways to Die, which I thought was awful. I thought it sent the wrong message.
So it has 13 Ways to Die and 13 Reasons Why, or both?
Or maybe is it 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
that's
I was
the
like,
one.
man, they ripped off that title, just rhymed it slightly differently.
No, that was me misspeaking. 13 Reasons Why.
One was on Hulu.
Which I thought, it may not be popular opinion, but I thought it did a bad job of sending the message it was trying to send. I felt like it glorified suicide as opposed to, giving people answers and help, and putting the number up for the suicide prevention hotline isn't enough. I think the message you send is
it's like
can
the
be
duct
very
tape meme.
harmful. Yeah, yes, exactly. The Flex Seal meme.
Flex Seal, there we go.
But that one was garbage, and I hated it. If that's not the way everybody else feels about it, I really don't care. But this one I felt was tasteful, and it dealt with the subject matter very delicately, but in a very mature fashion. So, and then the stories that they tell are actually really cool stories. So, it's like a next level Goosebumps. The stories aren't quite vanilla. They're pretty scary.
Like Fear Street.
Yeah, sort of. I'd say it was closer to Fear Street, definitely.
That's what I saw as like teenage to adult Goosebumps.
Yeah. This was very good. I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix right now. Give it a watch. The other thing I'm watching right now, I don't know why, but for some fucking reason, I decided to subject myself. I swore I was never going to do this. I'm watching The Office.
Okay. You're not.
I've never seen The Office.
You didn't. Yeah.
I watched at it. I got the
American
bullet
or
points.
US?
But I'd already
Those are the
watched.
same thing.
I watched.
I say American US.
Yeah.
I watched.
Trick question. Dave got it. Ding, ding, ding. I didn't make a mistake.
What's funny is when Netflix first came out and I got it, I watched the British Office on accident. I started it and I didn't realize, I didn't know what I was doing, and it was just the British Office, which was fine. I liked it fine, but I said I was never going to watch The Office because every bit of it that I've seen, and I mentioned this on the show before, it just cringes me out. I don't deal with cringe well. I don't deal with that.
Yeah, I remember you. I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And
I want to watch Scott's Tots with you then.
Yeah, same. Patreon episode.
I am
Scott's
aware.
Tots.
I've seen. I saw like the whole first season a long time ago, and it just kind of fell off my radar. And I've seen some of the bullet points, and I get it. My God, I have to literally close my eyes sometime when I'm watching this show because I don't care how cringy one episode is. The whole show, and it's not just Michael Scott, even though he is a complete fuck up.
It's
and
everybody.
just cannot get out of his own way. They are all bad people. They're just bad at being people.
Oh, okay. I thought I don't know.
They're not bad people.
intended.
They're just bad at being people. And
Yeah.
I know it's a TV show,
Right.
but even at even with putting the exaggeration aside, I don't know what possessed me to do this, but maybe I feel a bit masochistic or whatever, but it is
It's Halloween.
it's bothering me.
You jerked off
Like,
one too many times. Like, I got to feel something.
I have to feel yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's a funny show, and I get it. I do, and there have been plenty of things about it that have made me really laugh, and I respect the shit out of it, and I know that these people just excel at their jobs, but they are too good at it, and it just some of these situations. How this guy how Michael Scott hasn't just had his ass beat fucking on the regular. It just eludes me.
Well, people feel sorry for him.
I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
Is like I think they think he's like retarded or something, you know? And boy, he sure kind of acts it a little bit, but it's weird because like sometimes he'll be totally fucking professional. Like when he stops acting like a fool, the guy like can be good at his job and professional and not a complete fuck up. And I'm like, I just feel the need to just go into the screen and say, do this, keep doing this.
The Ring
You're
style.
killing me. Yes, I want to crawl the other direction.
Right. You come out of the well and go through your TV to him.
Straight into his office and just have a discussion with him.
And you open up a cookie cake box, it just has a stop sign inside of it.
Yes, exactly. That is not to say that I get it. I get it. The whole thing was designed for this purpose, and it just works a little too well. I am struggling, but I'm gonna get through it because I'm glad I've seen what I've seen.
How far into it are you?
I think I'm about maybe a little less than halfway through season 3.
Okay, there's an episode besides Scott's Tots that is like the second cringiest
I've
episode.
seen the dinner party.
That's the one I wanted to watch. Yeah.
That one I have seen.
Okay.
And
I've seen that. That's a case study in writing for television shows.
It is, and I mean it. But also too, it's starting to become really fucking dated, right?
Sure.
Like everything is there. It was what 15 years ago. I think it was 05 when that show came out.
It was a long time ago. Let's not think about it.
I mean, season 3 was out when we drove to Albuquerque, since we watched that on my iPod.
Yeah.
So it's been on for it's been a long time that the show's been out, and so obviously it's extremely dated, and that always kind of throws a monkey wrench into my life. I don't know why.
Just reminded.
I'd have guessed because there was this sort of dead zone of technology where everything was coming out and being new and being fresh, but it still was too expensive or too outrageous. You know, there was no iPhones, there was no
BlackBerry.
smartphones, there was BlackBerry, and there are CRT monitors everywhere, and they're playing Call of Duty, which again, Call of Duty. There's a new one coming next month, right? I mean, it's still, but it's just funny to me how, I don't know, all of those things combined just sort of give me the willies. But I'm making myself watch it because I'm enjoying the show. But sometimes it just goes just that far. Phyllis's Wedding, I just watched that one. You know, I just
Found this guy. He's a little weird. Yeah.
it just
There's a lot. There's so and like talking about the other characters bringing the cringe too. Like Kelly is really in that episode particularly.
Kelly bothers me the least.
No, Kelly's great, but like, doesn't she want to wear white to the wedding?
Yeah, she totally wears white. Because she's like, because I look good in white.
Right.
It's like
It was an emergency.
Jim is, especially when he's like really starting, when he and Pam's thing just, you know, it kicks off right away. And they're flirting hard.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're just laying it on so disgustingly thick. We know they like each other. and it's so like office romancy, which again nails it. It hits it right on the head. But the way like Jim is almost the polar opposite of Michael in that more often than not, he comes across as cool and having his shit together and being that guy that, you know, you want him to be sort of the anchor.
Right.
To go back to,
Sure.
to be like, oh, fuck, at least someone's normal. And then he fucks around and does something stupid. Like there was one part of one of the episodes where he like is standing behind Pam and he like picks her up and lifts her up off the floor, and it goes on just a little bit too long, and
Right.
she's like, put me down, put me down, put me down. And I'm like, dude, fucking put her down. What are you doing? You had me until this moment. And so that, again, it's brilliant writing. The whole thing, I get why it was so important. It's just that it makes it no less difficult for me to watch.
There's some great Toby cringe too. Some real good Toby cringe.
Toby's pretty bad. He's my guy though.
Just wait.
Yeah, I know. I heard that it gets way worse. And the fact that they could do this, so I was like laying in bed watching an episode on my phone last night, and it was the wedding, and I literally had to, when he got up there and started doing the toast, and he introduces himself 4 times, I literally had to close my eyes and not look at what was going on.
Or the ladies and gentlemen part whenever he tries to
when he
announce
announces
it.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
May I present for the first time as a couple, and he hadn't even. Oh my God. It just. This is the kind of thing I need to talk to people about. I cannot let this fester in my own mind, so I may be bringing up The Office again
Great.
in the future as I finish. There was 9 fucking seasons of this show.
Yeah.
And the first season was only like 10 or 12 episodes. I was like, it should be no problem. Nope. They picked them up for a lot more episodes in the subsequent seasons.
Yeah.
So, and again, everybody's out there probably wondering, what the fuck is this guy's problem? What do you mean he hasn't seen The Office? Yeah, I haven't seen it all. And
I haven't seen it all either. I stopped.
Yeah.
When it like the cringe was like, oh man, it's unintentional now. Fuck.
Yeah. I want to get to that part too and see what happens. I want to see, it's almost like I issued a personal challenge to see if I could make it through this show. Because I like it, but boy, it is just really, it's pushing my buttons. It really is pushing my buttons.
I believe it.
But, so that's what I've watched this week. Speaking of watch,
You got a Game and Watch?
I did not get a Game and Watch. I started playing Overwatch.
Overwatch. You watched too much.
You did or you tried to?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I've started. The Overwatch 2 came out.
But I say, because RCAJ's trying it and she's played it some,
It's-
not a lot. It's
I
Wait
don't-
in Line
is
Simulator.
Is she on Xbox?
PS5.
PS5. I haven't had any problems for the last few days getting in. Now, but when it first came out, they got DDoSed. Blizzard got DDoSed, and there was some hacking going on and some things that were kicking people out. There's still bugs. Like every time, if I earn an achievement, I just completely disconnect from my game.
That's great. That's working as intended.
It's a
Here's your
known
prize.
bug.
Go away.
Yeah.
Come back
Yeah.
later.
I was doing really well in a match, and we had just won the match, and then the achievement notification on my Xbox popped up, and it went and just went out to the home screen. I was like,
Great. Tennis Nedry popped out.
so I got the achievement, which is worthless, but I didn't earn any of the credit
The
for
in-game
winning that match. None of the XP or whatever.
That's
And you probably got on a list too. Of
Probably.
Disconnectors.
Yeah. Now I haven't had trouble
Ooh.
getting reconnected to it, but boy, I got to tell you, I used to play this game on PC, which I do not have a PC anymore.
Overwatch 1.
Overwatch 1. I was there for launch, and I played that game straight for.
You
was
streamed it for a while.
3 or 4
too, didn't
years.
you?
I streamed it a little bit. I played for like maybe 2 or 3 years regularly, and then I stopped. I got rid of my PC and got out of that whole mess because it was taking too much of my time. And anyway, the game just shut down. The original game, they took it offline and moved everyone to Overwatch 2. It was just a
And-
free upgrade.
So is it the same? Like what? I don't know anything about it because I
It's
haven't
the
played
same game,
Okay.
essentially with some new characters.
Okay.
And it's got a battle pass now,
Okay.
where it didn't have that before.
Okay.
Their first battle pass is kind of weak, kind of like the Multiverse's first battle pass
Uh-huh.
was. Not great, but it's fine. I'm not really. I did go ahead and buy the battle pass, but there's nothing in there I could live without. And they've cleaned up the interface a little bit, but essentially it's the same game I remember.
Okay.
But now I'm playing on console instead of PC, which has taken me some getting used to. I got into a game with Gage. He's on console as well. He plays PS5, and we teamed up and got in, but we got put in the PC pool because his friends play PC. And it was a steamrolling. I got destroyed. Because, I mean, first of all, this was the first time I played the game at all in 3 years. And then second of all, I was playing with a controller against a bunch of mouse and keyboard guys.
That's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
There's no advantage one way or the other, right?
Nope, that's not true.
Yeah.
We got fucking destroyed. And it was absolutely partially my fault. I mean, like, I'd say...
Sounds like a game I'll never play.
Nah, you probably won't play it.
No, I will. I hate that feeling where it's like, oh, not only did I not contribute, I was actually detrimental to this team.
I was, but I discovered the reasoning really was because if I team up with a PC player, so if I call John Turley and say, hey, I want to play Overwatch, I'm immediately going to go into the PC pool, whether I like it or not. Now, I should be able to hook up a keyboard and mouse, but that's not terribly convenient for me right now.
Yeah.
But playing in the console pool, I'm having a fucking blast. I'm doing well. I'm having fun. It's bringing back a lot of fond memories, and so I'm enjoying the shit out of it. And there's a couple people on the Discord that have been asking me, did I want to play? I absolutely do, but I'm terrible at reaching out. So, you'll see me playing Overwatch 2. Try to reach out if you see me out there. I will definitely jump in and play with you guys. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It took me back because I really fucking loved Overwatch.
Yeah.
It was probably in my top 3 favorite games ever.
You were on our Overwatch episode and
I was.
had totally equal time
Yes.
to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Who are the new characters?
God, I wish you hadn't reminded me of that.
I'm sorry. I had
only
to do it.
vaguely remember the episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll remind you of that. Yeah. I can't remember their names, the new character names. There's a new healer. There's I want to say her name's Kiriko. She's Japanese.
I've seen her trailer. Yeah.
She's a pretty good character.
She's got like a fox.
She's got a fox as her ultimate is a fox that like runs through a straight line, and if you follow the fox, your attack and your speed and damage per second and stuff goes up.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. There's quite a few characters that I didn't even know about because they came out after I had quit. So I've been kind of playing a lot of ones that I was playing before, which are still all relevant. But yeah, that was all I wanted to say about it. Was that it brought me back to Overwatch, which I've really missed. I didn't realize how much I've missed it. And now that I'm kind of getting used to playing on console, it's even better.
Cool.
Because now I can sit in front of my TV in my living room and have my little setup and play Overwatch and not... Because before, I was locking myself in my office for hours and hours and hours and all night playing this game and not being out in the house with the rest of my people, Bringing my gear into the living room while I'm engaged with the video game, I can still have conversations with Tanya and hang out and watch movies in the background and stuff. It feels like I'm there.
Right.
But I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds. So yeah, it's really good to be back in Overwatch. And honestly, if you were ever a fan of it, if you ever played it regularly and you stopped like I did, Overwatch 2 is absolutely worth it. I think it's kind of a redeeming... It has redeeming qualities to it, what with Blizzard's recent fallout and some of the kind of negativity I've had towards them. I think they've taken it in the right direction. Obviously, they've monetized it a little more, which I'm not terribly fond of, but it is what it is. It's just the way it is now.
Well, I was going to ask, and since you brought up the monetization again, are they still doing loot boxes in addition to the Battle Pass, or is it just a Battle Pass?
It's just Battle Pass now.
I like that better, man.
I do too, because the loot boxes, you never knew what you were going to roll and get. And
Well, it blurred that gambling line too
Right.
much,
And I
so.
think that's probably why they did it,
Yep.
because it's like Battle Pass. That's probably why Battle Passes exist. I don't know, but I assume like a lot of the developers
it's
are
laid
like,
out in front of you, where you
right,
know,
what you're going to get.
what you're going to
yeah.
get. If you want, there's no secrets here. You're
Right.
going to get this stuff. If you pay the money and you play enough, you'll get it.
Right.
Which I agree is a better model, because I probably spent more money than I should have gambling. It's because it was gambling.
Yeah, it's a slot machine.
It is a slot
Yeah.
machine, and you'd get a loot box, and of course I had all kinds of crap in that game already, and so their equivalent would be currency, which is never enough to really justify the money you just spent.
Yep.
And so this is better in my opinion, because it's laid out, and they have pretty good. They have like. Multiversus has like weekly challenges and then season challenges
Yeah.
and things that earns you higher XP.
Totally.
This is like that too, only it's got daily, weekly, monthly, I want to say like yearly big challenges that earn you huge XP if you get through them. And like I somehow managed to get 2 of them at once for the like monthly yesterday. I got like 10,000 XP. So I feel like if you play the game, just enjoy the game and play it, you'll get enough to kind of move you forward. And I've moved like 8 levels through it. It's longer than, it's not like, it doesn't stop at 50 like Multiversus does.
Like the 50 levels or anything?
I don't think it's 50 levels. I could be wrong, but anyway, it seems reasonable. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm enjoying that game, and I'm gonna stick with it this time and play it.
I'm totally glad to hear that they've gone to a battle pass model. And is it free to play now? Like I know
Yes.
that. Okay, so you don't even have to buy a base game or anything.
No, and a lot of people took it personally that they bought Overwatch, and I bought
been how long?
Overwatch a couple of times, but yeah,
It's been like 10 years.
I don't think it's been 10 years, but it's been like 6 or 7.
I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, look it
I'm
up.
curious how old it is, because that game is. I remember. Stuff like this I base around when I built certain PCs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think it's been 10 years, but it's definitely at least been 6 or 7.
Oh, totally, totally. At least that.
Because I know I played for a good 3 years regularly.
Came out in 2016, so at least it says that on. Yeah, 2016. So yeah, you were right with the 6 years.
So, and because I knew I'd been out of it for about 4 years, or no, like 3 years. But yeah, I like the way they've done it now too. I think it's polished. I think now that they've got whatever their network problems were and all that
'cause they were
done,
bad.
it's gotten a lot better. I haven't had to wait in line to get queued up and stuff. And there's a system built into it now where you can roll queue, which means before you ever start playing, you say what role you're willing to play, whether it be tank, damage, or support. And they'll incentivize you to either play support or queue for anything.
Yeah.
By giving you more XP for doing it. And so I played a lot of support before anyway, so I was cool with that.
Yeah.
So I think that was neat. I heard a lot of complaints about that before. They had been doing that in Overwatch 1, and I didn't know anything about it until now. But yeah, it worked, and I just think it's fun. I dig it. So yeah, if anybody wants to get in there and play with me, that's cool. I'll be around on the Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord.
That's right. Cool.
And I haven't played Multiversus in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a minute either. I do want to get in there and try out Stripe, because I know Stripe came out.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I want to do that too.
So I want to try that. And he's
Who is that?
he's a gremlin.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
They had what was
Gizmo.
it? Gizmo, thank you. Came out, and now Stripe has been added. I did not realize he had been added already. So yeah, I'm gonna get in there.
I hope I'm right. I'm pretty sure that GameBug Prime Nate said that he was out.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't signed in yet, so I'm going to definitely check it out because I do intend on playing Multiverses still. I just haven't. I've been wrapped up. I started playing Cyberpunk 2077 as well, so I've just
Right.
had a lot going on game wise that's
Sure.
keeping me from getting in.
I gotta
there.
say, man, I was playing Multiverses like every day for at least an hour, and I haven't played recently, and I've played like so much other stuff, and that has felt really nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed breaking away from that to play these other games and stuff too. So I'm definitely going to get back in Multiverses. I have rambled on long enough. Dave, what's going on, my man?
Well, speaking of Cyberpunk, I've been watching two very different anime series.
Oh yeah, because there's a Cyberpunk 2077 on Netflix now.
Yeah, Edge Runners.
It's on my list.
It's an anime that's by and it was animated by Studio Trigger, and I really like Studio Trigger. They have really cool visuals and like good sense of like color. It's a good match for Cyberpunk because it's, you know, like a lot of yellows and bright like magentas and stuff like that. And, you know, when it's not completely dystopian
Sure.
hellscape. But like, I think it's really good. It's very like, it's surprising. It reminds me of like not an animation style, but in tone of what it felt like to watch anime when I was in 8th grade. Where it's like, motherfucker, anything can happen.
Right.
And
Okay.
stuff can happen, and like the story can just alter like that. Lots of violence, lots of sex, I mean, it is like, this is like
Game of Thrones, the anime.
I mean, it's way more graphic than Game of Thrones. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely draw parallels to like storytelling and stuff. But yeah, it's super graphic, and I'm kind of surprised. I don't know, man. It surprises me that it's on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely interested now. I mean, I've been wanting to watch it anyway, so I'll probably add that to the list.
It's not like Legend of the Overfiend or anything like that. But I mean, it's pretty surprising. Like there are parts in there that's like, wow, okay, they did that. And it's really cool. There are a lot of surprising moments. I love that. I love Studio Trigger. They did Kill la Kill, which is like one of the anime. Like that's honestly like that. Kill la Kill and Attack on Titan are like the two anime series that like just brought me back in and got me excited about anime again.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of sentimental and emotional attachment to Studio Trigger. So it's like, it's probably something I would have passed on because I'm not like really like, I don't know anything about the Cyberpunk universe or anything like that. And I didn't play the video game. I never played the tabletop role-playing game that all this is based on. So it was probably something I would have passed on, but when, I see this studio attached to it, it's like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And it's, it's cool. It's definitely worth checking out. I'm halfway through it now. And then I've been watching something that is an anime that's totally different, called Azumanga Daioh, which is like, it's an old anime, that is a slice of life comedy, it's something that I'd watched before, but I hadn't watched all of it. And then, since I'm studying the language and stuff, there are like a lot of like YouTube video recommendations that are like, hey, are you learning the language? These are good. If you're learning the language and you like anime, these are good anime to watch. And then that's how Azumanga Daioh came back up. And it's like, oh yeah, I never did finish that. So Nikki and I have been watching that one. So it's good. It's funny. Yeah. It's and it's good. And it's like a lot of the language. Slice of life is really good for stuff like that because it's like
Everyday conversation pieces.
And it's kind of slow too. You know what I mean? It's nothing's gonna blow up, so you got to talk real fast. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. I kind of hemmed and hawed on this for a while because you guys know that like Nikki's mom is like having trouble like with her house and everything.
Right.
So,
right.
But long story short, I bought a Steam Deck.
Oh, nice.
I got the email from Steam saying, hey man, that thing that you pre-ordered, it's available to order. And it's like, okay, I got to have like a conversation and like figure out. And it's like, we set aside everything that we're going to set aside to help. which is a significant amount. And there's like, well, still Steam Deck money left over, so I'm gonna go ahead and order that. And
I am already coveting your Steam Deck, and you don't even have it. That's awesome, dude.
it rules.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah, it rules.
Oh, I didn't realize you had it yet.
Yeah, I've been hearing stories that it's like it doesn't ship out for like months or anything. Nah, I had it the next week. Shipped out of Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah, and I love it. It's
So see, this is the PC I need to play Overwatch 2 on.
yeah, totally.
Wow.
Oh shit!
And the dock,
That is awesome.
the dock just came out, and yeah, I've been playing VVVVVV on it. Which have you played it?
A little bit.
Man, it's awesome. I remember talking about this game with Paul Pig. I think a long time ago. He mentioned it on one of my streams in chat. And it's like, so what happened was I got the Steam Deck and I was like, well, let's go through and see all these Steam games that I have that I've been meaning to check out and just haven't made the time to do it, because now I can do it in bed. And now, like Ian, kind of like how you're saying, where it's like I'm not like locked away in an office like playing these games. I can do it in the living room.
Right.
And it's like,
Well, in the dock for me, see, when I pick one of these bad boys up, which is inevitable now that I've touched it, this thing is light. I expected it to be extremely heavy, but
Me
it's
too.
just got a nice weight to it.
and the exhaust smells good too. It's probably a bad idea to huff it, but
Oh yeah, it does.
but it smells great.
Does it get hot? Have you played anything on it that like might cause it to heat up?
I haven't tried doing anything like too like graphically intensive or anything, but it did get hot playing. My hands got hot playing VVV, but I think a lot of that had to do with I was just sweating,
Right,
Because
yeah.
it's a pretty like demanding Metroidvania style puzzle platformer.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You've also been playing Necopara. No.
That's what I've got. Like my Steam Awards or whatever. That's the only game that I've unlocked every achievement in, because I think all it involves you to do is like go through the
Just
story.
watch it.
Yeah.
Just, here, deal with this. You get achievements.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Really.
So for me, it's going to be this and an external monitor and, the dock and possibly a lap keyboard and mouse. If I want to queue up, play games with people that
Yeah.
on there, that's how I'll do it.
Yeah.
But that's
gonna
really
pass it to you like it's,
something. I
like
know,
it's a,
right? I'm holding on to it gently and gingerly.
But it's
Whatever steel longsword in Game of Thrones.
That is
I've got a chair at my house made out of Steam Decks.
that is a quality item. Like it feels good in the hand. It's got a nice weight. The display looked really nice.
Yeah, and this is the middle of the road one.
And perfect timing because you're getting ready to take a trip to California. So now you can take your Steam Deck.
I can play
with you.
VVVVV on the
Yeah.
plane.
Valyrian steel. That's what I was
Valerian
There
Steel.
you
There
go.
we go. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the timing did work out.
How's the battery life on it?
Not great.
I
Yeah.
had a feeling that would be
Not
the
great.
case.
Like if you play something that's like super intensive, you got like 2-3 hours on it.
Yeah, you're gonna want to plug in.
So yeah, but if you're doing like I was playing,
You get your Game Gear battery pack.
I
It's
know,
like a car battery.
right?
You plug
Yeah,
it in.
totally. I was playing like Spelunky on it, which is like another one of those games where it's like I played a little bit, but it's like that's like a good laying in bed playing a game kind of
Yeah.
deal. And it's like that I played for like maybe 5 hours. So it just depends on what you're playing. And like I've read that because it's all Linux based, I've read that there are scripts and stuff that you can like set up so that it better conserves battery power and stuff like that. Even though I'm just using the stock like options
Sure.
for that stuff. The sound is like I was amazed. Maybe it's because I've been playing Undertale on my PS Vita. And it's like
Oh, yeah.
I got like the volume on that motherfucker like maxed out, and I'm like I was like I need to talk to like Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn if like there's an amp or something that can be put in this, because it's like I'm playing Undertale, which has fantastic music, and it's like I got to put my like head super close
Like
to
Jack listened to Mickey Mouse videos in the grocery store where I turn it down just low enough that he's tilting his head while he's watching it.
Yeah. So it kind of makes me want to like And now I'm like, fuck, do I have to start playing Undertale on the Steam Deck? Because it's like I get to start it a third time because I started it on Xbox because it's on Game Pass.
Right.
And then I was like, man, fuck this. I don't want to be like locked to this console. I want to play this in bed and stuff. So I played it on the Vita and got like an ending and a half. And so now I'm like, well, fuck, I guess maybe I'll just start playing it on Steam.
I started playing that for the stream.
I know. I've been watching the VODs.
And then my OBS this last time was like, nah, we don't want to stay active for more than 30 minutes at a time. So I ended up part 3 is like 3 different 30-minute
I saw
sections.
it, yeah, cut into segments. But hey, it worked.
It worked.
There was one part where it's like, you were like, well, I don't remember when it stopped. It's like, because it was like a time jump.
Yeah, because I got into it, then I looked back, why has no one said anything in this spam bot's just been, oh, okay, that's OBS not responding. Okay, wonderful.
Well, I've been enjoying those VODs.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think I got my stream key for TikTok, so I was trying to dual stream, and I think OBS was like, we don't like this. So I disconnected that, so I'll figure that out later.
Just stand your phone up on a thing and point it at
I did that for a minute, yeah.
For TikTok, because that's all anyone does.
Yep.
Few people actually like pipe the stream out to TikTok. They just live stream the thing pointed at their computer.
I did that for a minute, and then I registered with an agency and got my stream key, but I might have to do, if I want to do both at the same time, I might just have to just film it on my phone.
There's a thing called Restream, right?
I saw that.
Yeah, you can dump it out and it'll pipe it out to all the streaming services if you put your key in.
Right.
For each different one. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
No, but that stream deck, that's badass though.
That is super cool, dude.
I recommend. It's nice. It is. It's nice.
I gotta find the scratch for that because I was on the fence until I put it in my hand, and I immediately knew I wanted it.
It doesn't feel cheap like at all,
No,
and the
it
joysticks
does
feel
not.
really good.
Yeah.
Do you use those Steam pads ever?
The Steam pads?
Is that what
The
they
little
are?
touch
The
pads.
touch pads?
Oh yeah, I was playing World of Horror on it, which is a game that I've talked about before on the show. It's been a while back. I streamed it maybe last Halloween. I don't know, but it was. It's this like in the style of like Junji Ito, like this adventure game where you're like you got like 5 mysteries to solve before the doom clock gets to 100% or the great old one destroys the world kind of deal. It's fun. It's cool. And it's like, so I saw it. Oh yeah, I want to get back into that. And it's like, it's all like you have to move the mouse cursor and click on stuff. And the pad works okay. I'm not going to lie. It's not as nice as like using a mouse.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as the touchpad goes, it's nice, and it's a touch screen, so it's like I can just do instead of using the touchpad, I can just tap on the screen where I want it to go.
It's thinner. It's thinner than I thought it would be. It's thinner. We just watched that yesterday.
Yeah,
I made a joke on Facebook to my cousin about, he said he hits every red and yellow light in Paducah. And I was like, you shouldn't have hit that Romanian lady who then said slower. But I don't think he got it.
No.
So,
Well, I'm glad we all get that. That's a reference for once all 3 of us get
It's
about
something-
a movie.
something we can all enjoy.
Yeah, but it was about the thickness of a Switch, except for the part where you hold it, which is fine.
It's got a
because
big ass
it's got that
screen too.
giant screen on it, and those nice little. It fits in the hand nicely. I mean, literally, I held this thing for 1 minute, and it was like, "Yep, this is the way it should have been."
I felt a little guilty for ordering it, but it was one of those where it's like, you know how you get the advice where it's like, well, if you want to buy something and you're not real super comfortable about the price, sleep on it, like give it some time. Man, I fucking slept on this for like a week and a half, and then it was just like, fuck it, I'm ordering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it that much, your subconscious is telling you maybe you should jump on that. So
what'd you say your board game rule is if you're really wanting to play it the next day, you should buy the game?
Yeah. I mean, even for the peace of mind, it's weird because it's like, I don't know, man. Like whenever I want something, it just fucking like, it's just running in the background. It's just an app in my brain that's running in the background. That's just constantly.
I understand. I do. It's just started for me.
And then you buy the thing, and then it's like that app is like, closed.
Yep. It's tasks.
Yeah.
It is tasks. I mean, I've had this mattress. I brought a mattress over here to store in Tyler's garage for the foreseeable
Perpetuity.
future. In perpetuity. And we had taken it. When we bought the new bed, it was in. I talked about my new bed,
Right.
And it came in a bag.
yeah.
It was vacuum
Inflated.
You undo the bag and the thing, but you got to give it like 24 hours. Well, when I bought the bed,
like a DVD box set, or
yeah. When I bought the bed, we got a special price on a frame, and it also included a sheet set and pillows and stuff.
yeah.
And our sheets were in bad shape anyway. So, but the sheets didn't come. The bed came on Monday. The sheets didn't come till Thursday.
No.
Yeah, I could do the old college days of sleeping on just a raw mattress.
No, we opted against it. So, since we knew we were going to have to, you have to give the mattress 24 hours to fully kind of inflate itself, right, before you lay on it. And so we had already planned. We took the mattress off of our old bed and put it on the floor in the living room. And we just slept in the living room. And we were like, we'll do that. Well,
It's like camping.
it was. And the sheets didn't come the next day or the next day. And so we slept in the living room for 3 days because she didn't want to have to make the bed and then unmake the bed and then make the bed again with the new sheets. And so we just left it in there. But all that finally came, and we sleeping on our new bed, but we keeping the mattress for my son in case he needs it.
Wow.
But I don't have anywhere in my house to put it. And I was like, hey, Tyler's got a gigantic garage.
He doesn't even know what's out back there.
So I brought it. And on the way here, we bought it. Well,
Mostly
lots of spiders. We bought a big mattress bag, like on Amazon.
This thing's
like
pretty cool.
a queen sized, like it's like a tarp, only with a zipper and handles. So it's for storing a mattress.
Yeah, okay.
So it's waterproof, and we'll see how bug proof it is, I guess.
Yep. It'll test both back there.
But what it is
Poor
not,
Flopsy.
what it is not is back of my truck on the way to Tyler's proof. Because
Close that task.
I put it in. I had been thinking about moving. We've had this mattress propped up in our kitchen now for 3 or 4 days to get it over here, because I didn't want to go take it out to my garage and throw it out there and have it be in my way out there. It's fine where it is, whatever. I finally get this thing done, and I ticked the box. That app closed, and I was like, yay. I walked through the kitchen.
Dopamine. Yum, 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 yum,
The
yum.
mattress was gone. But on the way here, about 6/7 of the way here, that fucker, the wind unzipped it. And so the top part of it started flapping around, and there was a car behind me blinking their fucking blinkers.
A tag
at me.
flew out of it that said bug proof, waterproof, not windproof.
Not windproof. Yeah, apparently, I guess the zippers just came apart enough for the wind to get up in there, and because in the back of a pickup truck, the wind kind of blows
Sure.
the wrong way. It loops around. and
I've
comes
seen that
up.
Mythbusters, yeah.
And yeah, it blew it right up, right open. I thought it had torn the fucking zipper, and I was like, but no, it just came unzipped. But yeah, the guy behind me, who was tailgating me anyway, was
You're gonna
fucking
make me
flashing
wreck.
me with his fucking lights like, hey, I'm like, I just want to hang my head out. It's a mattress. It's not going anywhere. But that happened like right before I got here. So it's not like I had to drive the whole way with my mattress cover flapping in the wind. But I did get to tick that off my open apps.
That's nice.
So that was nice.
I got to tick off going to Boss Burrito.
Nice.
Yeah, a little follow up to last episode.
Did you go with Captain Gun Nerd?
Yeah, John and I went out there.
Nice.
It was good. It was really good. It's a lot like Burrito Shack, but it's like not. It doesn't have a salsa bar, which doesn't surprise me. It's 2022.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
That salsa bar was nasty at Burrito Shack.
You shut your mouth.
There were more germs on that salsa bar.
But it was fine then.
The jalapeno kills the germ.
Yeah, it was fine then. But yeah, it's so that kind of sucks, and they don't have like as many like salsa options and stuff. But they did have tomatillo, and I'm a big fan of tomatillo. So, but yeah, definitely going back. We tried to go back yesterday, so I'm like, oh, so I went with John on Friday, and then yesterday I was like, Hey, Nikki, let's go. Let's get Henry.
They're
Let's
not
go,
open
Boss
on
Burrito.
Sunday, are they?
Google, you're like, well, it's Sunday. Let's check. And so we look on there. It's like, open till 8. Fucking, all right. Odd, but okay. Get there. Park. It's kind of dark. Pull on the door. Door opens. Oh. Walk in. People are sitting at chairs and tables. And then a lady comes out and says, we're closed. We're closed. We're closed. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. She's like, but I can make you a burrito. And I was like, no, thanks. I said, we'll be back.
Are you? So are you? So I come. There are people here. You can make me a burrito, but you're closed.
It was very confusing because when I walked in, no one was behind the counter. And I assumed the people sitting in the tables were like family, maybe, or the
We're
owner.
just feeding vampires. It's dark in
Right,
here.
yeah. Are you a vampire? You have to tell me if you are.
Maybe they were having family dinner.
I think they probably were. Yeah. But what surprised me was that the door opened, But yeah, she was very nice and offered. She's like, I don't have all of the meat, but I do have the al pastor. I can make you some. And it's like, no, because like everything was covered up and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was just like, no, I don't want to. I don't want the guiltiest burrito in the world that I'm gonna eat.
She was probably more offended that you didn't let her go ahead and make you a burrito.
Well, I told her.
She's like the consummate Mexican mama.
I told her we'll be back.
You
I
look
said,
a little
"We will be
thin.
back."
No, sit down. I'm gonna just wait right
We'll
here.
be back. We'll be back.
No, I'm gonna make you a
You're
burrito.
one of us now.
That little boy, we need him. He needs to eat. He needs to eat.
We went to Five Guys instead, and it was okay. That's pretty much how I feel about Five Guys all the time.
I used to
I've
love
never
it.
gone there.
It's okay.
10 years ago, I loved it. Now,
It's all right.
Isn't it really expensive? I mean, everything's expensive now, but aren't they particularly expensive?
10 years ago, I would have said absolutely, but now it's kind of like when you told me what you pay at Wendy's, it's
Right.
like
Everything else
that's
caught
when
up.
Everything
it's-
caught up
yeah,
with Five
everything
Guys,
caught
so
up.
that's now normal.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
like now it's about
Well, then
Wendy's
maybe I'll
prices.
try Five Guys then. That's why I've avoided it.
Because when Nikki told me, like, we got home and I was giving Henry like some grief, jokingly, lovingly, because he got a hamburger and he ate half of it. And I was like, when we get home later tonight, are you going to eat the $4 worth of hamburger that we bought? Because this was an expensive hamburger. So I was surprised when we got home and Nikki was like, because I was like, how much was that? She's like, it was like $32. And it's like, oh, that's like, yeah, if we go to like fucking
about average.
Wendy's or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Dairy Queen now. I mean, it's everywhere. So, okay.
So yeah.
I went to Lambert's.
Did you get a
was-
throwed
Throw
roll?
rolls at you.
Yep.
They're still doing that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Home with a throwed
Home with
roll.
a throw roll. And in Branson, because we went to Silver Dollar City this
Yeah. How was
weekend,
that?
Yeah.
They had some cool coasters. It was a cool park, but it's also the oldest and widest park I've ever been to. It is
Oldest and whitest?
Whitest.
Whitest. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was widest.
I thought you said wide.
Yeah.
because Branson
It's
was
not very long, but it's so
God
wide.
damn
So-
it, it's wide. Fuck it, it's wide.
Girthy. It's thick.
Damn.
because it's. I mean, Branson is like, is Gatlinburg too far away or too expensive? Come to Branson. It's like
Is it closer?
it's like 2/3. It's 2/3 Gatlinburg.
Branson's like Diet Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, or Diet Gatlinburg.
Or Diet Gatlinburg. Okay. It's been so long since I've been to
They have
Gatlinburg.
really skinny bears there. Like meth head bears.
No, they're just fit.
But the British fit. Just bears you want to fuck.
What is that? What do they call it? Dogging, where you fuck in a parking lot. Bears, you go dogging.
Or cars.
I'm a dog those bears. I did have a weird.
All right.
All right, so we were in line for one of the shows. It was a really long line because it was like
Which
their
show?
special saloon show with like the saloon Can girls and a comedy show. And the line for they do the show like every
Was it an
every
old timey
hour.
comedy show? Please God.
sorta.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Like
it
the
was
Cracker
like
Barrel of comedy shows.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like Branson is Cracker Barrel in
100%.
city form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two things happened. We were waiting this line. One, because we're all together and we're
They
playing
gave
games.
you one of those little triangle games with the
Pass
golf
them out
tees
the
in
pegs.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
'Cause
I'm sorry, man. That's not the kind of pegging we do here.
Listen up, we're leaving. We're leaving.
Get your stuff.
What kind of establishment is this?
That's not why I came here.
I'm writing a strongly worded letter.
That just gave me an idea of like, you remember Wild and Crazy Kids where they would take like Space Invaders and make it real huge and they throw water balloons? You should make a giant peg game where it's just dudes' buttholes in a triangle.
Jump it. Come on, jump it. It's about stringing together the jumps to leave one. But we were in line and we were playing this like heads up game on Anna's phone, and then like AJ's doing a turn. Anna turns and looks. Have you seen anything but white people? And then I checked and was like, oh my
no.
God, it is nothing but older white people here. Like young white people are the minority in Silver Dollar City. So I was like, well, it makes sense. Everything was like very Christian Trump themed, like not in the park, but everything going to the park, and the park is like celebrating the Old West. So yeah, it's just like 100%. But while we were in that line, then the girls were playing, the heads up where like one person has their phone on their forehead and something goes up, and then people have to like give them clues, and they tilt it down, tilt it up. It's a new one.
Okay.
And they're doing like Disney movies, and one of the characters in Cars pops up, and
The one who likes anal sex. Lightning McQueen?
Mater.
Mater? Yeah, he beat me to it.
Well, somebody says a Cars character, and it's like, give me a clue, which one? The hot one. All three of the girls say a different one.
Oh, man, I thought they were all going to say the same one.
Like, it's like time out. So in the world where cars are hot, all three of you think a different car is hot.
I can't name three of the cars. We just covered the two that I know a joke ago.
Because what is it? The hot one. And it goes, Finn McMissile. No.
Finn McMissile?
Finn McMissile.
Whatever that is.
Huh.
But because the girls' grandparents bought them tickets that came with guest passes, so it's like, okay, well, we just get an Airbnb, and basically that's all we're going to be out to go on a trip. Cool, we'll go. But it was pretty good. They had cool roller coasters, but it was mostly like shows and just glass blowing and a bunch of shops. And come like 7:00, the park was mostly empty. And it's open till like 9 or 10. So
that sounds like I would want to be there between 7 and 10.
Yeah, because there weren't like the girls were just running, getting right directly on rides.
All the old white people have gone home to go to bed.
To crawl in their coffins and wake up at sunset, right?
Because the park it's designed to slope downward, so when everybody's walking up and out, they're going home. So come like 7:00, we're going 2 rides, and like everyone is streaming past us going up and out. So,
oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds ideal to me.
So it was good. I rode the Time Traveler, which is like ranked one of the best roller coasters. I got sick as shit though because
did it make you sick?
I've told you about my Fruitopia issue, like this heavy corn syrup.
Yeah.
So Artsy AJ was like, we have to go to this one place that has ice
You have to go to the Fruitopia Museum.
We'll have to chug Fruitopia and then run around
yeah, they give us all a bucket.
Park. I went in and she's like, this is the best vanilla ice cream I've ever had. We all get ice cream. I'm like, this tastes like nothing. This tastes like just weird sweetness. And then after I was done, I was like, oh, that was corn syrup ice cream. And I immediately was just fucking sick as shit. But I didn't want to not do a ride, so I got on the Time Traveler, which very fast roller coaster, it's a steel coaster, so you get the loops, ups and downs, but it's on like a ball joint, so it also spins.
Okay.
So while I'm going around in circles, I'm also spinning everywhere.
I had
so
one
I got
like that
I was
at
like,
Six
I'm
Flags.
done.
I had one like that at Six Flags, which was a Tony Hawk roller coaster.
Yes.
So it's like you're
yeah.
on a skateboard.
It's like a more extreme version. I've ridden that. It's like a
So you're telling me that the Time Traveler roller coaster did not successfully take you back to before you ate the nasty ice cream?
I wish. Although it would have driven me insane from just all the clock. If I was Captain Hook, I would have been fucking insane by the time I got because it was just so many clocks and just click, 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 click the whole time.
They took that from. There was a roller coaster at Opryland when Opryland was still a thing. That was an indoor roller coaster that was had a bunch of clocks and things. And as you're standing in line, the hallways are lined with clocks, and there's constant ticking playing over the speakers. The roller coaster was cool. I think it was called the Vortex or something like that.
I feel like I remember going there and riding the Hangman and something else.
Yeah,
that was big back then in
but
Opryland.
The clocks, I never got that. It's like stop it.
They had another one that was highly rated, like the powder keg. I think it's the one that's like super, super fast, but it gave Melissa a headache all day because it just whips your head back so hard. So I was like, nah, I'm okay. I'm all right. We'll just go watch glass blowing shops and just kind of walk around. I'm going to catch a fuck ton of Pokemon.
Did you get a bunch of Pokemon?
Yeah, I got a bunch of Pokemon.
Nice.
So it was good. It was a good trip.
Cool.
But do you guys still want to do a draft?
I do. I have, but I this is super important. Yeah, I think you guys will all agree. I got my second booster shot today. Mm-hmm. That's not the important part. The important part is when I was waiting to get it, I heard the pharmacist behind the counter say, "So are we all doing Final Fantasy VII costumes for Halloween?"
Are you serious?
I did. And then
what pharmacy?
And then the CVS on Lone Oak, which I found out there are two because I scheduled my appointment at the wrong one apparently. When I showed up.
There's one on Lone Oak Road in front of Hannon Plaza, and then there's one farther up in actual Lone Oak.
And that's the one that I went to, was the one in front of Hannon Plaza, and I'm glad that I did. When I said I went to the wrong Lone Oak, I mean I went to the right one because I got the coolest fucking pharmacist to give me a shot. So I was like, I heard that when I was like filling out the paperwork and stuff, and then like one of the women back behind there was like, they were like, he was like saying, "Well, you could be Yuffie," and she's like, "Who's that?" And she's like looking up on her phone and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is the cool CVS. So I sat down to wait to be called to get the shot, and when I got called, I walked in there and I was like, "Are you guys doing Final Fantasy VII costumes?"
Mind your own business, pleb.
He might as well, because like he was a really cool guy, but like he was telling, like we got into this long conversation about, you know, how when like wait 15 minutes after you had the shot to see if you had
Yeah.
We definitely ate that up talking about Final Fantasy VII. He was like, yeah, I just sold this like the Bandai Namco 4-figure set, Aerith, Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa. It had a chocobo in it. I just sold that on eBay. He said, I'm selling Final Fantasy VIII figures. And I was like, oh, dude, I love Final Fantasy VIII. And he's like, yeah. And then he goes into this, like, telling me.
I'll sell it to you for half of what I bought it. $1,400.
Right? He goes, like, man, he was blowing my fucking mind that the pharmacist who's giving me the shot is talking about how he used to break Final Fantasy VIII by, like... by like having everybody dead except for Cypher, and then like fighting Diablo, and like just like there's all this stuff where it was like, man, you know way more about Final Fantasy VIII than me, and you're a pharmacist.
I have made terrible choices.
Do you wish this shot was actually Mako? Not again.
Yeah,
I did that in middle school.
Yeah, you can only do that once. You're giving me too much credit. That was high school.
High school.
Yeah, that's.
Did you tell him about
Matt Gentile very happy?
Did you tell him about Tadpog?
I didn't. Yeah. No, I got big Tadpog shame locally. Yeah, totally. I don't mention that shit to fucking nobody.
Me neither.
I saw one guy at work viewed the TikTok, and I was like,
oh no.
He works remotely now, far away. So do I need to message him?
Terminated. But anyway, sorry. I do want to do the draft.
He was the cool IT guy, so I guess it's okay.
That's good. That is good.
People have bigger and better senses of humor, I think, than I give them credit for. It's just that there are so many people that I know that I just don't want to know me, like outside of whatever environment I know them from.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Work primarily.
Yeah. You got work persona.
I do.
You got podcast persona.
And I mean, I'm easygoing, get along with guy. I'm at work, you know, but I don't want that part of me out there. I don't care that however many people that listen to the show, you know, I know a lot of them, and that's fine. That's how I want them to know me. But I don't, like I was mentioning today, somebody mentioned something about something over on the south side, and mentioned that, oh, yeah, I drive past there every week on my way out to my friend's house that I help with this podcast. And I'm like, fuck. They weren't listening to me, so they didn't ask what podcast.
What podcast? Experience Grind.
Last podcast on the left. It's really popular.
That might not be the one.
I'm a producer. I'm not actually on the show. I actually run the soundboard for them.
That's a great show, but that might not be the one you want people to think you're on.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, and also like I've been in enough conversations where someone mentions some project that they work on that I don't care about, that I'm not going to do that to somebody else.
Well, we rolled for the draft and we determined we were going to do a serial draft.
Serial
Killers?
Which episode of
I couldn't
Serial
do
the
that one.
podcast?
I don't know
we like the
15
best?
serial killers.
Episode 2.
Okay, yeah. I wonder if I could. It'd be hard for me, but I bet I could. It would take me a while.
you definitely
But I bet I could
could.
name 15.
Oh God, yeah. Are you kidding me?
I could do
But there are
5.
just so many that just kind of run together about like this person killed this person. Okay,
All right, 3 first
like the heavy
names.
hitters.
That's probably a serial killer.
Is his middle name
Exactly.
Wayne?
Terry Mike Jeffrey. I think that was a serial killer. Write that down.
Is that a Christian singer? I honestly don't know.
Takes all kinds, Dave. Everybody can be a killer.
That is true.
All right, so who goes first? We'll roll.
Tyler's 1, I'm 2, Dave's 3.
4. Roll again.
I guess our 4th guest.
4. Roll again.
Call John.
goes
John.
first. 1.
You're first. I'm second. Dave's third.
Okay. So in the breakfast cereal or dinner cereal, whichever meal period you enjoy your cereal the most, snack cereal, whatever. I guess number 1. See, I was not expecting to go first. Look at me thinking about it.
Choose wisely, my son.
The choice is yours and yours alone.
Number 1, I'm going to go with Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs. Something I like. The rest of the family will eat it, but it was one of my favorites growing up, and I feel like it's fairly popular. I could have went with a safety one, but the other safety ones I just don't like very much. So
My picks are probably going to be the biggest loser this week because I don't dig on sugary cereals very much.
I don't. I mean, look. Our audience is just as old as we are, so I think
They've evolved.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
they're like a good salty cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a savory beefy
Something
cereal.
briny.
That's not milk.
usually. Fish flavored. Fish flakes. And some milk. Yum. My first choice, my absolute favorite cereal is Life cereal. Good old plain, not cinnamon, that's garbage. Life cereal for me.
I don't know if I ever had it.
I don't think I've had Life.
Slightly
either.
sweet. It's made out of oats. It's just the right texture.
Okay.
I
A
like
good
it.
balance.
It's a good balance. It's not overly sweet, but it's sweet enough. I do like the flavor of it a great deal, and that's my go-to. Life. That's my first pick.
I'm going Nintendo Cereal System, which is the Nintendo cereal from when I was a kid. That was half of the box was Mario Brothers, and half of the box was The Legend of Zelda,
Wow, I had forgotten all about that.
like the cartoon.
Was that the
Good.
one you ate the whole box and threw up rainbows?
There's no telling. I mean, that's some number of times I've done that. But it's not the Ninja Turtle cereal that had bugs eggs in it. That's what's important.
Ew.
It's like on the box, they're like, yeah, marshmallow, eat Ninja Turtles a marshmallow, and these Chex things are nets, and they don't mention the bugs eggs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I made a Facebook post about it like months ago. One of my favorite cereals introduced to me by Brandon of Axley fame, which is O's.
O's are good.
Love the shit out of O's.
That's OH apostrophe S
O's.
exclamation point.
Still, it's not super easy to find. Kind of hit or miss.
I
It's always
honestly didn't
a
think they
small
still
box.
made it. So, yeah.
Yep.
My second favorite cereal ever, Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran, I love Raisin Bran. Dude.
Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran's good.
Especially the kind that comes in the big $5 bag. The cheap stuff. Raisin Bran. Good for you. Tasty. Sweet, but
Two
not
scoops?
too sweet. 2 scoops of raisins. Dave, what's your second pick?
Yeah, I gotta go Lucky Charms. Yeah, I gotta go
See,
Lucky
I thought
Charms.
about it, but I was like, I just don't love it enough.
I do love Lucky Charms. Although they kind of fucked with the formula a little bit. I think I honestly haven't had Lucky Charms in a really long time, which is why I'm still alive. But I think at some point they frosted the actual cereal.
Yep.
That's too much, man. You got that kind of like, so I'm talking vintage 1980s Lucky Charms.
Good Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that was the marshmallows made it sweet enough. So the oat pieces inside didn't have to be sweetened. That added the crunch and the nutrition.
But they knew, I think they had marketing research. It's like, sir, the kids are just eating the marshmallows and leaving the cereal, which is totally what I did when I was 7. Absolutely. My grandmother's.
Jack does it now. Jack won't eat much by mouth, but he will eat every marshmallow in a box of Lucky Charms.
So Lucky Charms, final answer.
Okay, good pick.
I'm going to go with a cereal I fell in love with in high school and just ate obsessively for a while, which is Honey Bunches of Oats.
Honey Bunches of Oats, that's a good cereal.
It helped me lose like almost 100 pounds in high school.
Damn, it's bunches.
That is it is a really good cereal. I'm going to venture into the world of sugary sweetness for my third pick.
My reign of terror ends here.
Kix. So sweet.
Hey,
So
come on,
goddamn
come on.
sweet.
Don't read my notes.
The seasonal favorite, Count Chocula.
All right.
Count Chocula is my favorite
I was going to
chocolate
ask.
cereal.
Fruit Brute?
It's cherry flavored. I don't like cherry flavored cereal. It's funny too because Walmart, every like late September, Walmart gets a giant pallet of the monster cereals in, and so you get Count Chocula, Boo Berry, Frankenberry, and Fruit Brute, which they only
Yummy
just
Mummy they did for a few years. They brought it back.
What flavor is Yummy Mummy?
Not good.
Yeah. Bandages.
It's probably banana. It's banana, isn't it?
Yuck.
I want to say it's banana.
Fuck.
I'll have to look that up, but right. Well,
Why won't this sell?
A good mummified banana cereal.
Yeah.
they get the big pallet of monster cereals in, and of course we always buy a box of Count Chocula every week until they're gone, which didn't take long this year.
Yeah.
All the Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula are gone, and the only thing Walmart has left is Fruit Brute.
It's fun to say. That's why I said it.
Tanya wanted to buy a box of Fruit Brute in lieu of Count Chocula, and I was like, it's cherry flavored. And she's like, nope. She puts it back up on the shelf, and then I got her a box of chocolate Lucky Charms, which is basically
Chocolate
the same
Lucky
things.
Charms.
Yeah.
Man, they're just doing wild stuff these days.
No rules anymore.
I know.
Fucking no rules.
I know, right?
Nothing matters anymore.
Wow.
But Count Chocula is my favorite sugary sweet cereal.
Did you read about that? What, the Frankenberry in the 80s? That they had a chemical coloring in it that made kids.
It was red dye number 5, and that's
Yeah.
why they took
Made 'em
it off the market.
Pink.
Or it wasn't red dye number 5. They determined that was safe.
Yeah, it was something that made like the color and consistency of like strawberry yogurt. That's how it was described.
Yeah, that's why they took Frankenberry.
Good.
Besides the fact that
The chicken nugget goo.
Yeah. Pink slime come out your butthole.
we make them.
Your 5-year-old just pink slime coming out.
You're holding it like a pastry thing. Like, what do you call that? A pastry bag?
What is the Play-Doh
It's
thing?
a mold of chicken nugget shaped.
Why do you have all these weird like 8-sided stars?
Yo, bro, thanks for inviting me over, but these fucking nuggets taste like shit.
They don't smell great either. They smell faintly of strawberry, I think. That and, well, the fact that Frankenberry and Count Chocula were the only ones of the monster cereals that really stood the test of time as far as
Sure.
consistently selling. But then they had to pull Frankenberry because of that, which it didn't come back.
Oh, not
for a while, and then they started.
We got to figure it out. We got to where it goes in, it comes in pink and goes out brown. How do we do it?
Sir, what if 20% of kids only poop? Fine.
That'll have to do. But now it's out every year, and we always jump on that Chocula train because it goes fast.
Yeah, I bet.
The Count Chocula does not last. I feel like they need to just have it all the year
it's weird that
round.
they don't. They used to. I remember being a kid.
Every all the time, but it's just seasonal. So,
you know, I like cherry and I like cherry flavored stuff, but I don't want to start the day with a bowl of cherry because I've never had fruit root. Like I said, it's just fun to say. Is it all just?
I'm not a Persian emperor. I don't want to start the day with a bowl of cherries.
Oh, fuck, man, you made it sound real fucking good right then. Maybe I do.
I'm not the witches of Eastwick. I'm not,
But is it just
Figs
like
and cherries?
Is it all like what is it? Is it just all?
it's just like Frankenberry, except it's cherry flavored.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not particularly fond of that flavor in a cereal format. You know, I just don't think that would be good. I like cherry candy and stuff, but actual cherry cereal just doesn't really. And nobody apparently likes it because they've still got a whole bunch of fruit.
Where is it?
Walmart on the Walmart.
Okay.
They're
My Walmart.
probably not.
Okay.
No, well, I'm talking about mine. I don't know if what they have at the South Side.
Okay.
But I know my Walmart.
I'm gonna get some fruit root. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, give it a shot. It might be fine, but I'm not willing to spend $5 on a
It's
box.
$5. Cereal's $5 now.
Yeah, nearly.
Well, you get Chocula and fruit root and you put them together and have your chocolate covered cherries.
Oh, I like that.
That would be a good
milkshake.
snack.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, Dave.
Dave's third round pick.
Third round.
I'm going Captain Crunch
Yeah.
with
If you
Crunch
didn't-
Berries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Important distinction with Crunch Berries. Man, Captain Crunch was a cereal that I liked a lot as a kid. And then I had Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries, and there is no fucking going back for me.
Crunch berries are good.
Yeah, they're good. I don't know if they're cherries or what, but they're good.
They don't hurt your mouth nearly as bad as the actual
They try
Captain
though,
Crunch.
yeah, but they're just because they're spheres, it's
Yeah,
like you just can't
exactly.
do it.
So I was going to go. I feel like you picked a superior pick, so I can't go to just Captain Crunch. I forgot Crunch Berries were even a thing. I'll go with something I don't like this cereal, but I know it's very, very popular. So I'm going to, for fourth, I'll take Oreo O's.
I don't know about this. It's just like
The kids love it. I don't care for it. But yeah, it's just Oreo cereal.
Why not just break up a bunch of Oreos and pour
Just
milk
pour
on
them in,
them?
yep.
is that what it's like? That sounds good.
I think it looks like a brown Cheerio with just some like the frosting spikes kind of glued on there.
Oh, okay. How do they sell cereal now to kids? Because like when I was a kid, it was Saturday morning cartoons. They would show like cereal commercials. Like, but I haven't seen like a
question.
YouTube. You know, like I don't pay for YouTube, so I haven't seen like YouTube commercials for kids cereal or anything like that.
We still do see cereal commercials on cable.
on cable.
Lucky Charms is fucking lucky. You know, I mean, it's the leprechaun they're trying to catch, and
Yeah.
you know,
So they're
whatever.
still doing that.
The Fruit Loops. The toucan is kind of like he flies around
right,
into a
writing that down.
trippy world of fruity flavor. They try to make it. Frosted Flakes is still a deal.
That's one that's the opposite. That's the one I don't like, but my whole family fucking loves.
They're
Frosted
great.
Flakes. Eh.
Yeah, they're okay. Anyway, yeah, they still advertise cereal to kids.
Okay.
Now they try to make it seem like, you know, having a bowl of Frosted Flakes is going to make you play soccer better.
Man, it is weird that you said that because when Frosted Flakes came up, I was thinking about telling a story when I was in preschool and I had a Frosted Flakes for breakfast and then we played soccer at school and I said, I know I'll be good at soccer because I had Frosted Flakes this morning.
I've always associated Frosted Flakes with sports and like
You're right.
activities and stuff. And it's like, yeah, they don't tell you about the sugar rush. You're up high, and then about midway through the game, you fall into the turf and fall asleep.
Coach, I don't feel so good.
Oh, I'm gonna vomit. I think I had some bad ice cream.
I called him Tiger Flakes though, because I was pretty cool like that.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. I went against the grain in preschool.
I'm not like the
I did
other
preschool a little
kids.
differently than most people do.
It's true.
My fourth round pick, I'm going to go super sugary sweet once more. I love me some Cocoa Pebbles.
All right. Cocoa
Pebbles.
Pebbles.
Don't care much for the fruity type, but I will eat them in a pinch.
That's how the rest of my family is. They would totally agree with you on that.
But I love me some Cocoa Pebbles. I mentioned I used to make milkshakes called Bam Bams, featuring chocolate ice cream, chocolate syrup, and Cocoa Pebbles. They were the best.
Sounds good.
They were so good.
Not Hershey syrup.
Yeah, a little Hershey syrup.
Little vomit.
A little vomit.
I call this one caveman vomit.
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman vomit. Man,
Yeah.
when you said you were going sugary, I was really worried you were going to take my next pick, which is Trix cereal.
Tricks. Tricks are for kids, Dave.
I remember when they went from when I was a young child, they were spheres. They were spherical cereal. And then when I got a little bit older in childhood, they were fruit shaped. And now I hear the word on the street is that they're balls again.
I would imagine.
I don't
they're
remember. I
balls
just remember
again.
them being fruit shaped.
I remember the fruit shaped ones, but I remember the spherical ones first.
Same.
So I would imagine they've probably gone back. To
I think
the
they just keep
spherical.
flip flopping it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're like, fuck, all right, it's been 5 years. Pull the switch. Then
Turn on the fruit shape machine. No, the fruit shapes. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah.
The dude makes? He turn on the dude makes. He said turn it on.
Back up to me again.
Back to you.
Final pick.
My final.
Ian gave us some really good options a moment ago.
In retrospect, not the wisest choice.
But I think I'm going to go, again, another one I'm not too crazy for, but I know everybody else loves it, which is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, a little CTC. All right. You don't like it?
I mean, it's okay. I like Sugar Cookie Crunch better, the holiday version. That's
I don't know
I
about
like
that.
I like that.
Well, you know,
Is
that
it
parents
cooked- is
can't
it-
see.
Yeah, you're right. I've lost my ability.
Yeah, that's a
When I was
problem.
29, I lost my ability.
Yeah.
I think they make a cinnamon churro now cereal.
You're right, they
it's-
do.
It's cinnamon. It's the same cereal. It's just churro flavors. Churro,
Wow.
cinnamon, and sugar. I think maybe it's probably a shape thing and not so much a
Not
flavor
a flavor thing. Yeah, I mean, churros, it's cinnamony.
They're-
But man, if it was like churro textured, oh my
that
god!
chewy.
Let's just
Let's just
order a churro,
have
chop it up, and put it in milk. I mean,
Can we go get some churros?
fuck.
Well, they
That
do that with
sounds fucking
Pop-Tarts
great
now. You
right
get
now.
the little mini Pop-Tart cereal. So instead of having to
Pop-Tart
crunch them
cereal?
out like I used to. Yeah.
Okay. My turn.
Yep. Last round pick.
Going with regular, plain ass cornflakes.
That's my favorite cereal.
It's so good.
That's my favorite cereal.
You can sweeten it to taste or not at all.
I don't.
All fruit goes into this. Just I've eaten it with bananas. I've eaten it with raisins, strawberries,
Fruit brute.
Chicken.
fruit brute. Sprinkle it with fruit brute. Yeah, little red meat.
Hey, Coach. Hey, dip it. Egg, flour, cornflakes, chicken.
Yeah,
There you
totally,
go.
absolutely.
You know,
It's part of
is
your
an-
diet to keep your libido down.
It is an excellent, coating, but it also is just a really good cereal. And I don't particularly like Frosted Flakes. They're gritty. They have that weird gritty, sugary grit to it. I don't know how else to put it, and I think they've ruined a cornflake by putting frosting on them. But yep, give me the good old fashioned cornflakes any day of the week. I will die on that hill.
Dave, final pick.
I like cornflakes when I get a burnt one.
Yes,
I don't want all burnt,
just occasionally.
About to say, I'm not
but
even
a,
familiar.
but a nice one, like a well done
I do
cornflake.
too. I like.
Yeah, that's a
better
treat.
flip that cornflake, Dan.
See, I'm weird. I will eat burnt things. I like burnt.
Yeah, sure.
I like burnt.
I like the
bacon,
flavor of char from time to time.
burnt cheese.
crispy, super crispy bacon. I can go either way on a lot of this stuff.
Tanya she bakes bacon. She doesn't fry it. She bakes it. And she'll take it out of the oven.
Yeah, it's not frying, it's bacon.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
I do like frying though.
But she'll say, "Oh, I cooked this batch too long." I'm like, no, you didn't. I will eat that bacon because it's yummy. It's burnt, and I love it.
And they have different use cases too, where it's like different variations of how well done bacon is. It's like, oh, is it like pretty crispy, but not like terribly crispy? Put that on a sandwich. It's great.
Exactly.
I don't want chewy bacon on the sandwich.
No, you don't want to have to pull it out.
Right, exactly.
You
And,
bite
like
it and it
your whole
snaps
sandwich is like implodes. It's like
It's like pulling the thread or whatever on a raft.
right, yeah, yeah. And, oh, there goes my sandwich. Thanks, bacon.
Well,
So
see,
much
I'm
for
like
that sweater.
Bane talking to Batman. Like, I didn't know bacon was supposed to be crispy until I was a man. Because all growing up, my mom exclusively, and I'm gonna put this on Facebook later, and tag my mom in it. Paper plate, paper towel, 4 strips of bacon, paper towel, microwave, 5 minutes. That is exclusively how I had bacon until maybe I was in high school. And then when my brother would ask for it, she would fry him bacon in the skillet. So I would eat bacon and mayonnaise sandwiches for like breakfast and just like stretch.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
was like, man, all right. So even to today, my base, like I don't like crispy bacon because my base flavor was set at bacon's like gum, dog. That's how it's supposed to be.
Ah, shit! I stepped in bacon.
oh, there's bacon under this desk.
I gotta come up with a chocolatey cereal. I don't have a chocolatey cereal on here. Tyler took my favorite chocolatey cereal. I love Cocoa Puffs. That's a great pick. Big fan of Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo for them.
You want me to give you a suggestion, which I still think counts?
I have one,
Okay.
but I'm very curious to hear what you say.
What's that thing that's shocking that you could have it for breakfast?
Bagel bites.
Yeah, that's
You can literally have it anytime.
But cookies for breakfast.
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah.
That's a horrible cereal.
Oh,
Cookie
really?
It's a
Crisp.
God, I
horrible
love
cereal.
Cookie
It's a
Crisp.
horrible, horrible
man.
cereal. It's fun to say, horrible to eat.
Wow.
And not chocolatey. I don't consider that a chocolatey cereal.
You don't like these shards of chocolate chips in
I don't.
pseudo cookie.
I don't like this. Yeah, it's what it tastes like is just. You know how I just sat here and was like, I like a lot of things well done, not cookies. Like a cookie, the cookies in Cookie Crisp, obviously, I feel like they're designed to like work with the milk, right? The milk kind of hydrates
It's got
the
a
cookie.
special non-nutritive coating
right?
invented by Clark Griswold.
But I don't like a lot of milk in my cereal. So I feel like that's always working against me in Cookie Crisp.
and you're
Because
like crunching. And you get too many of those little cookies in your mouth, and it's impossible to close your mouth. The design of Cookie Crisp cookies work together to prevent the closure of your jaw.
absolutely. Adorable mascot, though, that little bandit dog.
Why is everything cereal advertising related, at least from the 70s and 80s, so fucking like confrontational?
Thievery?
You know,
Everyone's trying to steal the cereal.
Don't let the rabbit have these fucking tricks. Try to steal the leprechaun's Lucky Charms. The Cookie Crisp is a bandit. He's stealing the cookies. You know, I could go on. It's like, except for Tony the Tiger, all these cereals were like, you know, there was some conflict about the cereal. Barney and Fred with the fucking pebbles. You know, Barney's always trying to steal Fred's
Well,
fruit.
Honey
Go-
Smacks was the frog,
The
like
frog.
taking that back with his long tongue. Like, no, my Honey Smacks.
Exactly. It's just like,
Me want honeycomb or honey crisp? What was that fucking
it
cereal?
was honeycomb.
God, man, I actively did not eat that cereal because I hated those fucking commercials so much.
Honeycomb sucked.
Good.
Also, what was Dig'em? Sugar Smacks.
That was Sugar Smacks. Yeah, Dig 'em
But
Frog.
they're not calling them Sugar Smacks anymore.
What are they calling them?
I think they're just called Smacks. They took the sugar name out because
Honey Smacks.
it's Honey Smacks.
Oh, is it really? I
It
was
is Honey
joking.
Smacks. I'm almost positive. But yeah, they took the sugar name out because, you know, in Mexico they're not allowed. They cover up all the mascots and shit on the boxes.
That doesn't sound creepy at all. It's like, I'm sorry, Diggum was executed this morning.
The cartel got Diggum.
That's horrible.
It's for health reasons. They
Sure.
don't want to promote.
It's
to
like Joe
children.
Camel,
It's a
right?
law in Mexico where
Yeah.
they won't promote sugary cereals to children.
It's a good law.
They literally cover the mascots.
Who's your
and the
favorite
logos.
black bar shade?
See, that's the creepy part. They should be like, yo, you got to like, look, man, if you sell shit in Canada, you got to have 2 languages on it. Here, you got to fucking take your cartoons off of cereal.
Yeah, they should
Or you
print-
don't sell it here.
Or just send
period.
us the bags.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah,
sell
send the
wax
bags.
bags. You can still tell what it is, mostly.
We'll put them in old candy machines where you put a quarter in, you put your bowl under it, twist the knob, get your cereal.
My 2 favorite cereals in the house, though, are probably Crave. Have you ever had Crave?
No.
I've seen Crave. Those are
Crave is good.
they're like the little
Pizza rolls
the
filled
little
with chocolate.
biscuits with chocolate in them,
Yeah?
right?
Sounds like an
Yeah.
Imagine Dragons song.
And then Melissa's favorite cereal is probably Cocoa Krispies.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
That's my, because I'm looking for a chocolatey cereal. My number 1 has already been taken,
That's a good
Cocoa Puffs.
one.
My number 2, Cocoa Krispies. And I like regular Krispies too.
Regular Krispies are the
I only want 'em in fruit
cornflakes
form.
of rice-based cereal.
Yeah, I mean, and I
In
do.
that they're delicious.
They're delicious, and I do love Rice Krispie treats. And homemade, way better than the package. But the
Oh my
packages is
God.
fine. It's fine. It's okay.
It's fine, yeah.
But yes,
It'll still get you diabetes up. It'll do.
they just can't make them sticky enough in the pre-packaged ones
Yeah.
because they're like, fuck, they'll never be able to open these things.
when you pull the paper off, it's just gonna tear it into a million little pieces.
we gotta put cellulose powder in here somehow. Yeah, I like a lot of wood in my Rice Krispie treat.
You and me both, brother.
It's like it's the crunch. Any honorable mentions?
I was going to mention Cookie Crisp because it's fun to say.
Oh, I think you've won this, Dave.
Well, I don't
Your
know.
list is-
I didn't list a lot of the ones. I listed a lot of the ones I liked as a kid. I love Chex. I think Chex is good.
Chex of
Love
any
Chex.
variety except wheat.
I like wheat
I do
Chex.
not like wheat Chex unless if they're in like a Chex mix, I'll be fine with it.
And that's another good thing about Chex is like the versatility there. I mean, you can't discredit Chex Mix. That's that's a big part of
Yeah,
Chex.
are we going? Yeah, we should have looked at cereal versatility as well. But you guys familiar with the 1991 hit cereal Urkel-O's?
I'm not.
So yeah, it's Urkel on the cover playing
Wow.
a marching band drum.
Oh yeah,
With
okay.
Urkel-O's.
Okay, Urkelos.
Does
Sounds
that
like-
say
sounds like-
Purina?
It's the Purina symbol,
No.
but it says
Oh, it's
Ralston.
Ralston. It's Ralston Purina. That
I
Is
guess
that
they-
cereal?
Guess they made cereal back in '91 before they're like, nah, I'm gonna give this to dogs.
Sir, no one bought our Urkelos. What do we do? I guess we're a dog food company now.
By 1991, America was fully engulfed in Urkel mania.
They're not wrong.
The character's trademark catchphrase that I do that had become part of pop culture's lexicon. Milton Bradley introduced Do the Urkel board game. We gotta get that. The risk and roll game that lets you be Urkel. That's the tagline.
finally.
Does someone fight? Are you all Urkel or do you fight over who
I
is
guess
Urkel?
who wins becomes Urkel.
Can we do? You remember the game that I ran for the show, like Everyone is John, where
Yeah,
you
oh,
play
yeah.
like voices in John's head? Can we play Everyone is Urkel?
It's Urkel.
It's set in the Family Matters universe, and you are Urkel.
You're
and
constantly
it's,
trying to.
It's just I just take a script from the internet, like I just find a script that's actually been aired, and I just run the script, and you guys just play the voices in Urkel's
What's
head.
your mine is I have to tell Laura that I'm in love with her. Okay, well my Urkel, I have to eat cheese.
My Urkel, I'm the suave debonair
Stefan Urkel.
Stefan Urkel. Well, I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Was one of your when we did candy? Well, that was chocolate candy though. You mentioned Tootsie Pops.
I mentioned Tootsie Rolls. Yeah.
Because you like Tootsie Roll.
They're okay.
Do you like Tootsie Pops?
I love Tootsie Pops. Tootsie Pops are better than Tootsie Rolls.
Did you know that there is a limited edition right now, only for a limited time, caramel Tootsie Pop?
Not for me.
Not for you?
Yeah, Nikki might
I'd
like
give it
that.
a shot.
Give it to Nikki.
I will.
I brought you one.
Oh,
Thank you.
Brought you one too.
Oh shit! Thank you.
Cherry.
Oh man.
Cherry Tootsie Pop is like that's the way to go.
Cherry's
Chocolate
good,
cherry.
but chocolate for me. I like the chocolate flavor Tootsie
The
Pops.
chocolate flavored Tootsie Pops.
Yeah, this is caramel with the Tootsie Roll on the
No,
inside.
that's awesome.
I feel like-
want to save this. I want to share this with Melissa.
I feel like
I
a
think she would
total
love this
asshole because like you're
No,
like, oh,
no.
I got one. It's like, oh,
Oh,
shit,
well,
sorry.
our wives would really love this though.
Yeah, Nikki will really like.
I bought
this.
Tanya found them on Amazon, and we were looking for them locally and couldn't find them, so I just bought like 42 of these things on Amazon.
like 42 pounds. I bought an Urkel O's quantity 50-pound bag.
Ralston just sent them right over. I bought it was like $15, and they came in the mail today, and I was like, holy shit, there's 50 of these things. So
Well, thanks, dude.
no, you're
No,
welcome.
that is awesome.
I'm weird
Thank
with
you.
caramel. It takes, yeah.
That's cool.
Sometimes I'm good with it, but
Well, tell me if Nikki likes it.
she will. I already know that she will. I'm like 20% on caramel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melissa and I will make out with this in the middle later. That's how I'm going to consume
There you
this.
go. Bring it to the pegboard.
But I also want to read this paragraph about Urkelos as I keep
yes.
looking on.
Lord, please.
In the year 1991, the Ralston introduced Urkelos, the strawberry and banana flavored cereal. Consisted of yellow and red loop pieces. A pre-sale promotional box of the cereal referred to the cereal as a fun circle-shaped product.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Dogs
something from
love
The
circles.
Simpsons.
Did you guys know that dogs
does-
can see shapes?
Sign says the circle is their favorite. Urkelos.
It cut to like dogs in a lab, like putting their noses on circles.
Not unless you think round.
You
is
see that
funny.
TikTok trend, right? Where they do the circle with their hand, the dogs all put their noses in it.
I have seen that. Yeah. I've seen it with cats too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People have trained their cats to do it. And I've also seen, I don't know if this is a TikTok thing, but I've seen this on YouTube a lot. It's almost like Stranger Things style, like crazy looking, where they've got all these buttons on the floor.
Oh yeah,
And you press the button and it
dogs
says
can
something.
answer questions.
But
Or,
it- Yeah. It always reminds me of the lights on the wall in
Yeah.
Stranger Things whenever I see it.
Like what Bunny the dog. Like I remember that's the first time I saw him.
Bunny?
Bunny's very, very smart. I remember one TikTok where she could always talk like Bunny, love, Bunny, whatever. And she just went, Bunny, why? just looked at my owner. Are you asking me why you exist, buddy? And she just stood there and didn't know what to press next. Like, oh, she's having an existential crisis.
I remember that one too because at one point Bunny got mad and he kept hitting the bitch button. Like
seen that
Bunny wanted to go out or wanted a treat or is it treat? No, Bunny. Treat. No, Bunny. Bitch. What? Bitch. 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 So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have some. We're gonna save that for later. Or are we gonna?
I got some snacks.
Do you want to do the snacks
Do some
now?
snacks?
Let's eat some snacks.
Let's have
Okay.
some snacks.
No one came here for Terminator 2 talk. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
but there's a bunch of it.
So much of it. Yeah. Do you want to dole these out?
No,
Or you
they're
want me to
close.
pull 'em?
Yeah, they're close to you.
All right. This first bag we have is Vegan Rob's Dragon Puffs.
These are everything in this bag, I believe, is vegan.
Go vegan. Fire breathing with probiotics.
8% it'll burn your guts and restore them. It's appreciative.
You don't have to be vegan to enjoy Vegan Rob's plant-based snacks.
It's good because I'm not.
Created from ingredients
Oh, you do? Never mind. Put them all back.
Shit.
created from ingredients of this green earth. They are addicting with a taste that's out of this world. If you like it hot, fire-breathing hot, then you'll absolutely love Vegan Rob's Dragon Puffs. Try our legendary baked sorghum puffs, seasoned with a mystical blend of exotic herbs and spices, along with gut-friendly probiotics that is sure to tame that dragon in your belly. This puff is hot stuff. Feed your fire, crunch consciously, and crunch Vegan Rob's Dragon Puffs. Love yourself, our planet, and all living things. Snack as clean and kind as possible. Love, Vegan Rob.
All right. You crack them open. Dragon Puffs. My sister's vegan and my brother-in-law's vegan. So like a lot of these came from my mom. These are snacks I think that she's had over at their house that she thought I'd like.
Smells really good.
They look like a Cheeto.
They look like
a
Cheeto
puff.
Yeah.
A very well coated.
All right, Dragon Puff time.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
There's more sweet to it than I thought there
I
would
do
be.
love the sandwich. Mm-hmm. Grilled cheese. I think that'd be really good.
That would be good with the grilled cheese.
Oh, hell, put that on a grilled cheese.
Exactly. Yeah, put that on a sandwich. They're not terribly hot. They're good.
There might be more Dragon Puffs in there. I really don't know what's in that bag.
These are meal in a bag puffs.
Oh yeah, those are like, check the calorie count on that bad boy.
Serving size is 1 ounce. There are
Tyler's eyes just got real wide. He saw the number.
130 calories per serving. So 130 calories per ounce.
So it's a meal in a bag. They mean
Yep. Yep.
But it's full of flavor, free of guilt.
I don't know about that.
it. Yeah. There's a reason I haven't eaten. There's a reason I brought these here.
Hot fattios. Okay.
Oh, this has got a little notch to tear the bag open.
That's the only reason I don't buy those kettle chips as often as I used to.
The kettle chips.
The super crunchy kettle
Yeah.
chips.
Yeah.
Because you can't just open the top of the bag. You have to tear it down the middle pretty much to get into it.
Which is good if it's a small bag, I feel like.
But it's one of those, I have to get scissors and cut open, carefully cut open the top.
This looks like E.T.'s finger.
21 grams of protein per bag. Okay.
That's a dense boy.
I don't like that flavor.
Dragon Puff's much better.
Dragon Puffs are, yeah.
That's a little,
Gamey about that one.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
yeah, something weird there.
Not a fan.
That's like protein powder in it or
I gotta
something.
wash that down. I didn't like that at all.
It's a meal in a bag.
Tastes kind of fishy afterward. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I was going
Squid.
with that. It might be squid based.
It is a little, ooh.
Probably. I don't, squid aren't vegan, right? This thing looks weird. Let's eat it.
For sure that's a vegetable, sea vegetable.
That's not an animal, right? Look at it.
It's a sea tissue.
The next one is mochi
Mochi.
Thai bird sriracha snack bites.
Okay. You had me at bird?
These are gluten and dairy free.
I haven't checked the expiration dates on any
More-
of this stuff.
more
We
puffiness.
might be eating poison.
That's fine. So most of this is by now.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it's not dairy based, so it's fine.
I like that one thing Zeus sent us. Do not eat that now.
Right. All right. This looks like a. What does this look like? A non-Euclidean shape.
It looks like it looks like a crave.
It looks like Cthulhu's house.
Arlie bites. You won't understand it.
Am I about to join a cult?
All right, mochi Thai bird sriracha.
I like that crunch.
Hey now.
That's good.
Yeah.
That'd be good with a soup.
Oh, put that in tomato soup.
Uh-huh.
Those are good.
I wish it had a cheesy element. I don't know if my brain just wants that because of the color or if it's missing.
Yeah, it is cheese colored.
All of these are cheese colored. Bucha.
I've had this before. I like this a lot.
Original mix. Delightfully aromatic spices play against a marvelous mix of wholesome, crunchy nibbles, garden peas, peanuts, and juicy raisins.
Okay. I do like a raisin in most anything.
Next time, we're just gonna bring Chex Mix for us because I like it.
I was watching The Office, and Pam is having her art show.
Yeah.
And Michael shows up and
Hotel
says
art.
nice things.
Yeah, that's very touching.
And she hugs him, and she goes, "Do you have something in your pocket?" implying that he has an erection. He goes, "No, it's a chunky," and he pulled out a chunky.
Square.
He asked if she wanted half, therefore offered her
A rectangle. It's yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's a bunch of loose. It's
It's
like
a chip and a stick and a pea and some more sticks and another pea.
it's like shredded paper.
They're like little potato sticks.
That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Wow, though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know about this.
Aromatic, right? Oh no, not a fan.
I don't know about the smell of these. Are these spicy?
You know what? When you said raisins, I was like, oh wait, I haven't had these, but I've had this brand with spicy mix,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know if this is spicy or not.
Peanutty.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I could do this.
I didn't get a raisin. There's a raisin.
It makes me want wasabi peas.
Those are so good. This is a nice snack. I like these. Might be a little spice in there. I'm feeling it now on my tongue.
And it's 150 calories, half a cup. That'll go a long way with
That's not
these, I
bad.
think. Yeah. I haven't eaten since lunch, so this is like, man.
Yep.
I was talking about cereal and then eating these. Holy God!
I still want a churro.
Quick churro break.
Yeah, take a break before we get some T2 talk or T2T.
All right. Stand by for some music, I guess, and then we'll be right back. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Give me some silence. That'll do.
Okay, we're back for the game talk. So since we're doing two games, I think we'll draw a clear dividing line between the two games. So I figure first we'll talk about Judgment Day,
Yeah.
if that rolls.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right, so T2 Judgment Day for the Super Nintendo. The box art. When you see the box art, what'd you think?
This is a Terminator 2 game.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I assumed a shooter of some sort.
I had no idea what the genre. Other than it's 1993, and I assume maybe it's a platformer.
Because the other Terminator game we covered was more of an action platformer.
Right.
Like a rail shooter.
But
almost.
Bringing up the box art and you saying shooter, there's a really good chance that if I was familiar with the 1991 arcade game that Midway put out, that I would think that is that game or a port of that game, because it's like, oh, Terminator 2. I've seen this in the arcade. I kind of know what to expect.
Well, and I feel like that's why that game was made, was a sort of an answer to that exact assumption.
Well, I agree, but what's shitty about it is I don't feel like it's extremely clear what is what. You know what I mean?
No, it is not.
And the fact that both games were published by LJN, it's one of those where it's like you had total control over like how this could be viewed on a shelf.
To be fair, though, the movie was titled Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
I know.
So I think they're is making the assumption that you know the difference because the other one's the arcade game.
I know, but is Grandma going to know that when she's buying birthday or Christmas presents?
Not at all.
The good news is it wouldn't matter which one Grandma bought me.
I don't know. I think it does.
Well, if these were the only two games in the world, yes, it wouldn't matter.
Right, sure. I'm comparing them like, this is a binary system in which there's only Terminator 2 and T2, the arcade game. Yeah, then it matters a fuck ton.
It really does.
It super matters a lot. Like the fucking Civil War of Terminator 2 games, brother versus brother.
The box art of Judgment Day is just literally Arnold as Terminator sitting on his motorcycle.
Yep.
That's it.
Very monochromatically.
Yeah. Blue monochrome.
Yeah.
They didn't really have to go very far, work very hard on this one. Because, I suppose it would have sold itself.
Yeah. I think that was LJN's whole bag.
Yeah.
Where
Well, this will be easy.
Uh-huh.
I know what to do. We're going to use up every dollar we have for licensing to put Arnold Schwarzenegger on the cover of this game, and then nowhere else.
And that's all you really need.
That's all you really need.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, because I guess the movie, because it's a movie, but what would be a Pauly Shore movie? You might compare this.
Well,
game
I
to.
actually have a movie.
Another movie?
A
Okay.
movie for this one.
I do as well.
And a Pauly Shore movie for both.
Damn.
So for Terminator 2 Judgment Day, my movie pick of this week is an Italian ripoff of Terminator called Shocking Dark.
Okay.
It's an unofficial European sequel, and although it was promoted as a ripoff of the Terminator, it was actually more like Aliens.
That sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons spell, though.
It does.
Shocking Dark.
Or the sequel to Perfect Dark.
It was
With the nude patch.
It was released in some countries as Terminator 2.
Oh. That's not confusing.
Except for the but not in the United States.
Oh, did LJN produce that? Or
No. And it was actually made 2 years before Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
I see.
I pick it because it is, to me, this movie. I never saw this movie, but this movie is,
but it means a lot to me.
to me, that what LJN did to the video game, this person probably did to the movie.
Yep. Okay.
Spoilers. This game sucked.
It's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad game.
You want me to do my Pauly Shore movie, or do you want to do yours first?
Do your Pauly Shore, and then I'll do my...
My Pauly Shore movie is called Opposite Day. There's a movie called Opposite Day where his character's son makes a wish that kids will rule the world and adults and kids swap places.
Okay.
And I picked this because it must have been opposite day when these games were made, and the children designed these games, which explains why they're so bad. But now they're a solid effort because they were done by kids. 4 stars. Ian says,
Check it out.
check it out.
My movie, my comparison would be outside of Terminator 2, the movie in which these games are based on, would be Armageddon. A movie I haven't seen, but because there's a song in that, Don't Want to Miss a
Don't want to
Thing,
miss a thing. Mhm.
by a band
Aerosmith.
called Aerosmith. And I chose, this is the wrong one. I'm reading the wrong one. This is the arcade game that I'm reading.
Oh, okay, because the Aerosmith.
Fuck.
I'll edit that out.
Fuck,
Go back, start
God,
over.
please. Can you just add a...
Yeah, sure. I'll totally edit
please.
that out.
Just loop me saying Fruit Brute for the entirety of...
Well, it's like Armageddon because of that scene in Terminator 2 where the Terminator takes animal crackers and walks them up a woman's stomach.
When I would joke with you about editing stuff out in the past, and you would say, "I'm not going to do that."
Right.
Yeah, I edit the show now. I actually might. Fruit Brute.
Please,
Fruit Brute.
that's your creative
Tropical
outlet,
Capricorn.
my friend.
Tropical Capricorn. Tropical Capricorn.
The actual movie for this game would be a 1991 biker movie, and I also haven't seen, called Harley Davidson and the Marlboro
Man. I have seen that. Don Johnson and the dude that was in
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Thank you.
Mickey Rourke plays Harley Davidson. That's his name. And Don Johnson plays Marlboro Man. They try to save an old hangout bar by robbing an armored car which turns out to be filled with drugs. The movie cost around $23 million to make and pulled in $7 million in the box office. This is 1991 money. I want to point that out.
A lot of fucking money.
And why did I choose this movie as a stand-in for Terminator 2 Judgment Day is because there are motorcycle driving segments in this video game that are not very good.
Holy fuck.
You're being extremely generous. With
I am.
Not very good bit.
I am.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I didn't pick a movie, but I have a Pauly Shore cameo.
Okay.
So I mean, this game is about violence, and then the movie is violent.
Yeah.
So
Henry walked in and asked why I was shooting all those people. That literally happened, and I was like, I'm a robot.
but is it okay for humans to kill a robot? No, robots can do it too.
Yeah, it's fine. No, we're gonna take him to court. You're gonna take a robot to court? You think a robot goes to heaven? No. Robot don't have to worry about any of that shit.
You're going to put
That's
that
true.
robot in jail. You know what he's going to do? He's going to break right out.
Yep.
As his,
Here, watch Ultron.
Yeah.
Avengers 2.
You want to get rid of this guy? You got to fucking boil him in metal.
In metal, you're right. But I chose the Limp Bizkit and Method Man music video in together. I didn't know they
Pauly Shore
did
had a
music.
cameo in
Pauly
this?
Shore has a cameo as the Pizza Man.
Okay.
And this video is Limp Bizkit and Method Man playing PlayStation. And I don't know who gets the upper hand, but the other one gets mad, and they end up having a 70s style karate fight all throughout the apartment they share.
That
and
part
Pauly
tracks.
Shore brings them a pizza
okay.
from Polly's Pizza.
Okay. He gets caught wheezing the juice.
He's in the juice.
My Pauly Shore movie was, and is always going to be for each one of these, Encino Man.
Yep.
And that is because there's a scene in Encino Man where Brendan Fraser playing Link leaves the totally not 7-Eleven store that they're in after they're kicked out for trying to wheeze the juice. And then he comes back in the door wearing Terminator style shades and says, "I'll be back." A joke that was probably only done once when we were children.
Absolutely. I felt like it's still done today. Well, okay, let's get through the struggle part. What are 3 good things about this game?
Oh God, this is
was
a struggle.
This was the hardest part for me.
God, this sucks. This game sucks so bad.
Listen, I'm going to read you. Can I read a little bit from a Wikipedia entry
Please.
about Terminator 2 Judgment Day,
Sure. The movie or the game?
the game?
Okay. It gets confusing, you know.
Because let me be clear, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the movie,
Yeah.
was fucking awesome.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about it yet.
Well, I was overwhelmed with the bad.
Yeah.
Because that movie was is to this day fucking amazing.
Huge
It's like The
movie.
Matrix. Like that.
Oh God,
yeah.
it was so groundbreaking and rightfully so. I still watch that movie to this day, and it's one of those movies kind of like if it's on, I will watch it and I won't stop until it's over. I love it.
And it's a long one.
It's long.
It's over 2 hours. For an action
For an
movie,
action movie,
yeah,
it is
it's a long
very
boy.
long. But they do so fucking good. It's well written. It's well acted. James Cameron
Fucking wrote, directed, produced it.
The look of the Terminator, the T-1000, the liquid metal.
That was huge,
That was
man.
impossible.
When I was a
back then.
kid, that was the thing.
That was the literal most groundbreaking like special effect done in cinema at the time.
It was such a big deal that I never saw the movie as a kid, but I knew all this stuff that you're saying. Like people talked about it that much in 91 when it came out.
It was nuts how unbelievable. And I loved the first movie. A lot of people don't care for the original Terminator. It's more of a sci-fi horror. Mm-hmm. Terminator 2 could probably be classified also as sci-fi horror, but it's just more of an action kind of chase movie. It's very tense and it just rarely stops. Mm-hmm. And it's good that it does that because the T-1000 being what it is a relentless pursuer of Sarah Connor and John Connor in this movie. And this is young John Connor, played by Edward Furlong, who was kind of squeaky and annoying at first, but he grows on you very quickly. To me, his character as young John Connor in this movie ages really well. As an adult, I look at this now and think, wow, that kid really was pretty good in this movie.
Yeah.
The same way that I kind of look at Mark Hamill in Star Wars and think, yeah, he was a whiny little shithead.
You can say
But
cunt.
it was
We're British.
supposed to.
We haven't got feedback on that one. That was published yet, so maybe I should rein that joke. Let me rein that joke back in.
Yeah, that comes out in 2 days. Remember, we'll see. But the overall, I just really love this movie. There's so many iconic lines and moments and special effects.
Special effects in this movie
they're over the top,
next
good.
level, and
to this day, in my opinion, they are still next level.
They're fantastic
special effects.
I don't have the same affection for this movie as you do, for sure. This is one of those movies where it's like I recognize that it's really important and that it's good, but when it's on, it's one of those where it's like I've seen it.
Sure, I get.
I've seen it once. I'm good. But the special effects, like that in itself, is like I love that about this movie.
I do too.
This is a special effects movie.
It truly is. It's really, in my opinion, what kind of defined what they term as a popcorn movie, where you just sit and just love it and watch it for everything it is. But it's also just really good. And it's a strange follow-up to the first movie because, again, the first movie was really just a horror film.
Yeah, and I like the first movie better than the second movie.
I can see why. And, I mean, it's really kind of, I'm on the fence because I feel like they're two totally different genres.
It's like Alien and Aliens.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
And that works, though. Both movies work for different reasons.
Totally, absolutely.
So, yeah, for the horror fan, the Terminator is the go-to. For the sci-fi action, time travel kind of thing, they really lean into the science, so to speak, of what goes on in the Terminator and how Skynet takes over the world and turns the machines against man because they're programmed to protect the planet, and they've discovered that really the worst part of the planet is us.
We can do so much, and all they do is have sex with us.
But anyway, the movie was super fantastic, and I think that, of course, is why bringing this game into the world was just a fucking travesty.
Not to get, I don't want to get too far from the movie because I definitely want to say that like how big of a deal it was that Arnold Schwarzenegger was back playing the role of a T-800. Is that right?
Yes.
But he was a good guy. Like that was
huge.
I heard so much about that on the playground.
Oh,
he's back, but he's good, and he's fighting the other one who's made of liquid metal.
Well, what was really great is, of course, Sarah Connor has been institutionalized after the events of the first movie. She goes fucking batshit, right? And they put her in an institution. She swears there was this cyborg from the future that was going to kill her, and obviously that can't be true, and you're crazy, and they put her in a fucking mental institution, right? And up to the point where the T-1000 comes back, and then Arnold's character, the T-800, is sent back, and he is good, and we find that out immediately, that he's there that he was sent by future John Connor to protect younger John Connor, right? There's a moment in Terminator 2 where he goes after, she has gone through this elaborate breakout plan. She is finally breaking out of this mental institution. She threatens a guy with a hypodermic needle full of fucking bleach or something, and sticks it in his neck and is like holding him hostage. Gets the keys, gets through the door, locks them all in behind her.
Cured as COVID.
She's cured as COVID. She's running for it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know. I heard from a guy.
Or do. I really don't give a fuck.
Like, but, sunlight or...
she's running. She's going to get out. You just know she's going to get out of here, and she's on her way. And then who should bust through the fucking door but Arnold as the Terminator? And the moment that she just falls to the floor and stops short and just screaming in panic, because this is the thing that she had been telling everyone and been chasing her. And by God, here it fucking, on this day of all days, I'm finally getting out of here. As soon as I'm about to make it out the front door, at this time of day, in this part of the country, it's centered entirely in your kitchen.
Can we see? No.
They do this moment of just sheer terror on her face that really just... That's my favorite part of the movie.
It's great.
We know what's going on, but we are forced to be her for just a moment and understand just how horrifying this is. So yeah. Anyway, just the chase scenes are over the top. You know, the
With
guy
the semi.
chases him in a semi and busts through a bridge, and they're running through the LA River like you do. It just. There's a scene where they're at Cyberdyne, the company that invents Skynet that ultimately turns into the problem. There's this huge, standoff, and Arnold just walks up to this window in the top of this building and starts just lobbing grenades and blowing up police cars. But at one point, Edward Furlong's character, John Connor, has made the Terminator promise, because he has to obey John Connor,
Right.
not to kill anybody. And he's like, I'm a fucking Terminator. That's what I do. He's like, now you got to promise, you got to swear to me you're not gonna. So he doesn't. So he manages to cause all this chaos and destruction with zero loss of human life. And then the T-1000 comes along and just kills everybody, in his path. And there's just so many things going on for this movie that just make it an instant classic for me.
It's a spectacle.
It is a spectacle
in a great way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just got it all, really. And I really love this movie.
It is a good movie. I love the special effects, and it's just a lot for me. It's hard. It's too long for me. It's just too long, and it's too much. It's too long for my bussy. I can't. It's too much.
It's good to have on in a Sunday afternoon while you're cleaning the house or something.
I could totally do.
That's because you could always stop and watch 5 minutes of it.
Right.
If you've already seen it.
And then get up and do something, come back.
Do something, and something else is happening.
Could totally do that, because at any point you're going to sit down and see something cool. This is just there's a bunch of cool shit in this movie that's just strung together. So many iconic, like the playground scene.
Oh my God.
With the fence. That's iconic.
It really is. That made its way into these games.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. Kinda.
So as much as I hate to break away from it, I do want to discuss the game and read to you how the polar opposite of the movie that it represents. According to Wikipedia, Terminator 2 received generally negative reviews. Go figure.
Yeah.
SNES Force considered it a massive disappointment, while Jonathan Davies of Sega Zone called it a film license game of the very worst, most despicable sort. Megatech wrote, "You'll be hard-pressed to find a more inept game than this. It's absolute trash, and Acclaim should be ashamed that they actually are releasing it." Mean Machines Sega called the game an outright disaster for Acclaim, who ought to bin this title before anyone notices it exists. There is such a thing as hyperbole, folks. None of that was hyperbole. It was right on the money.
It's tough, though, because this game was bad for sure.
Yeah, SNES Drunk put it up with their Bay-based kids and the very worst on the SNES.
I'm not gonna try to defend it. I'm not gonna try to say it's not a bad game, but it's not that bad. So maybe I am gonna try to defend it a little bit. But
it's not Street Hockey 95.
It's not that bad.
It's not race driving.
It's it's
Driving, sorry.
right. Yeah, there's an apostrophe in there.
Get it right, Tyler.
Get it right or pay the price. It's just that it's a Terminator 2 game. I feel like that's because if this were just named like Shooter Guy, no one would give a fuck how bad it is. It would just be like, oh, just another bad Super Nintendo game. But because Terminator 2 is so beloved, I feel like that is why like people hate this game because the movie is so important and so
like
well
E.T.
done.
Like if the movie does not live up to the grandiose expectations.
And yeah, totally. And I'm not, and like the lack of care put into this game is, I mean, abundantly clear. I just think that, again, I think this is a bad game. I do think this is probably, I did not have any fun playing this game.
Oh yeah.
And it's so slapped together, but still, it feels like one of those to me where it's like, if it weren't Terminator 2, everyone would be just okay with it.
Yeah. Did you watch the LJN Defenders video on this?
No, I did so little research on this. It's ridiculous.
So, he tries to find the best in any LJN game. But when he plays this, and then when the title screen comes up with, everyone who produces the game, he pauses it and goes, fuck.
John Connor worked on this.
John Connor. He's like programmed by a company called Bits.
Yeah.
So apparently Bits is the LJN of LJN. So if you get an LJN comboed with Bits, it's going to be like, oh, okay, all right, this is bad for even LJN. So, but I do see your point as expecting something different always makes it worse.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good game at all. But yeah, I mean, it's a 1993 Super Nintendo game, and I feel like it's one of those where it's like, seriously, if this were called Shooter Guy, people would just be
Bar
like,
baddie.
yeah, I'd be like, okay.
Well, I can. So you wanted to talk about the 3 good things.
3 good things.
I'll give you mine. I thought the opening sequence was funny as hell. When you first turn on the game, there's a little cut scene where you get the lightning flashes and the Terminator appears from the future.
Right.
And he's naked. But there's a fence. Austin Powers style.
Yeah, conveniently
at his crotch.
Yeah, genital.
As he walks.
Yeah.
And then when he clears the fence, a motorcycle goes right in front of that. And then the handrail going up the steps. I thought that was clever as hell. And I immediately thought, okay, this is going to be a good game.
Oh, no.
No, it wasn't. So I was disappointed in that. But I did like the Austin Powers style junk hiding.
That is nice.
That was on my list as well.
In there. I thought I felt really good when I turned it off.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
I like that dopamine flooding my brain, like closing that app, floating in the background. If I got to play this game, and now, well, I've played it. I turned it off. I felt great. So that was nice.
Cleansed.
That was a good thing. And then I like the LJN logo because it reminds me of LGBTQ plus pride flags, which is cool.
And it does a full 360 on this one. The rainbow makes a circle.
That's
I thought
great.
that was neat.
I love their logo. It's very, very avant-garde, very ahead of its time.
Yeah, or so far back that it looped back around.
That's why it's a full circle.
There you go.
Ah.
I don't know. I really struggled. I could not.
It's a struggle.
I'm going to be honest with you. I played through level 1, got to the first motorcycle level, and noped the fuck out.
Yep.
I couldn't control the motorcycle.
Same here.
The motorcycle is awful. I played until the mall, which is where you meet John Connor. And then what happened to me was, so in the beginning of this mission, it's like, try not to kill people. And I'm like, fuck that. That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yep.
So I killed everyone in the mall. And then I found John Connor in the arcade, and I couldn't get him to do anything. So it's like he just stood there in front of it. So it's like, what do I got to do? That's the thing beside the motorcycle. I know we're supposed to be talking about good things, but it's really hard to talk about good things. I didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, I found him. I'm here standing in front of him. There's no option for me to tell him to come with me if he wants to live. There's like, I got nothing. Like, what do I do? And then it's just cops swarming the place. It's like, I guess I just keep killing these guys.
Yeah.
And-
Well, and I had that problem in the first level where it's like you got to pick up a gun and you got to find future items. Well, I found future items, but I didn't know what to do with them. Turns out you destroy them. You shoot them, and then you shoot the thing, and then you pick it up, I guess.
Yeah,
The
they're
Terminator
hidden.
heads in, electronic coolers scattered all around the bar.
Yeah, and that really sucks that you have to like collect these things. You can't just because it's like they call them like what, time anomalies or something. So I guess you don't want to like leave traces behind that you're from the future or whatever.
He calls an incursion Doctor Strange the Multiverse style.
Yeah, but meanwhile, you got a dude made of liquid metal running around stabbing people in the face. I think they fucking know something's up. You know what I mean? Like
That's not of today.
At least you're tough. At least the Terminator, you're a fucking Terminator. It does take a lot to kill
that.
you.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
Yeah, because you've got 100% energy, and then if you lose that, then your backup power kicks in, which is basically increases your health back up to 50%.
And it's got the nice overlay where you can pause, and it's like his Terminator vision or whatever, where it's it's red, and that's
And you can see your
a
objectives.
decent touch.
Right, I like
Tells
that.
you what's left. That's something.
That was the one thing I managed to get on my list. Was I do like that. They did do a good job of like, I don't know what you call that, but yes, it's Terminator.
Nothing else
vision.
feels like the Terminator besides that.
Yeah, I thought this is one of those games.
You don't look like the Terminator.
No, you don't.
look
You
like
look Dan
somebody-
Aykroyd. I thought like this is like if you told me, yo, this is a screenshot from Blues Brothers, I'd be like, I believe that.
You look like
Wild Hogs. This is
to me, you look like Pitfall Harry. it was so blocky. Everything was so blocky and tiny. This was a tiny sprite game.
Yeah.
Like the sprites weren't too big. They were
Yeah,
tiny.
It felt like an NES game almost.
It did.
And yeah,
It looked like an NES game.
it did
to me.
It
in a lot
did.
of ways.
With an expanded color palette. Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
That was one of my bad things.
And conveniently, you're a robot from the future, so that's why you control like that, right? Because everything's so like stilted and slow and.
And why put a jump in there at all?
Oh my God, the jump in this
The
game
jump is like a-
ridiculous.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You hop
It's
about an
beautiful.
inch off the ground.
It's ballet.
Henry saw me do that and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Jumping?"
Because you're right. And then, like, you can't run, so you have to do this weird, like, you can sort of skip. You do a ridiculous jump and you skip. That's.
You can't punch while you're moving.
I have a good thing.
Okay.
You help me get to a good thing. There are 2 shoot buttons. And I think that's nice because you can press Y to shoot your pistol and then X to shoot your shotgun.
I
you
thought
don't
the
have to
shotgun-
switch. You don't have to pause and switch weapons out.
That
That's
is good.
true, yeah.
And the shotgun was powerful.
Yeah.
I had the shotgun was satisfying to use.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
But like
Because I
if you-
did love his shotgun in the movie.
Yeah.
So it was satisfying to use in the game.
But like if you're trying to punch somebody, you can't. You have to stop and hit them. You can't punch while you're moving.
He's a robot, Ian. Did you ever see Arnie fucking punch a dude while he was running in the movie? See, not in the movie.
They're very, that's they won't break canon at all. They're very particular.
I'm playing Tom LJN right now.
Are you? Yeah.
Yep. So the punching is on my bad list. The Terminator himself, and of course the motorcycle level.
Yeah. and
God,
I
the
got,
motors, levels. This is a reoccurring
Yeah.
thing.
Ugh.
I got.
I don't even understand it. And whoever the civil engineer who there are no curves, they're only 90
degree.
turns.
Yes, I know. Henry watched me play I played this for an hour and he sat with me because he didn't want to go to bed. So it was one of those things where it's like, I guess watching Dad play Terminator 2 is better than going to bed.
This will get him to bed.
Yeah. So like he was asking me about the roads. Because you're right. It's just like it's this highway that it's a highway.
It's Atari 2600 Pac-Man.
it's Paperboy, but it's just laid
Yeah.
out.
90-degree turns. There's no such thing as a curve. It's all 90-degree angles.
This was a missed Mode 7 opportunity, in my opinion. These motorcycle levels could have been done in Mode 7.
So spectacularly worse.
I mean, maybe, but God, it would have at least made some sense
No,
then.
no.
For some reason,
It couldn't be worse than this.
it was awful.
The motorcycle, it's very bad. It's very bad.
It's game breaking, in my opinion. I could not function. I could not figure out how to move. And I was just being like, first of all, the motorcycle, you're like a pixel.
Oh yeah, talk about
And you
tiny.
look like
needle.
everyone else on a motorcycle.
Yes.
Exactly. You're
And
being
you're
chased
just
by other
being
yous.
swarmed by other things that look exactly like you. There's no good way to control it. I
Well, you
couldn't
steer
figure it
by
out.
Ian. Come on, man. It's so simple. You steer by using cardinal directions.
Oh, fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's the simplest thing you could possibly imagine. You're steering a motorcycle and you're like, well, I guess I should turn east. How do I do that? I guess I press left on the D-pad. Oh, that didn't work. Well, fuck. What? Oh, I have to hold Y down while I do it. Okay.
Oh, wow.
No wonder I couldn't. Oh.
I had to look it up. I had to go to Game Facts to figure out how to steer the motorcycle. Like I'm fucking scrounging for passwords and
At
shit.
least they got the physics right, where if you on your motorcycle runs right into a semi truck, the semi truck bounces
and you go
back.
boink. Yeah. God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah, that really fucking it broke it for me.
And you get
That's when
gangbanged
I-
by the other motorcycles.
Yeah.
Just bouncing
Oh.
off you till you explode.
That's when I put it down.
I thought that those guys were kind of fun because they chase you after you kill a bunch of dudes at the bike bar. Go figure.
You kill infinite dudes.
Yeah.
They never
Infinite dudes.
stop.
They never stop the dude making machine.
Fucking waitresses respawn when you kill them. They
It's true.
respawn.
But like, so they chase you. Like, you end that level, and then all of a sudden, boom, isometric overhead view. You're on this tiny ass motorcycle. I thought it was kind of fun because like they're so dumb. The guys chasing you are so dumb that it's like you just like drive around a semi, and if you do it fast enough, the AI like doesn't know what you did. So they're like, I guess we're just driving this truck until we blow up.
Oh, it was just a big old stinky bag of bad.
Yep.
I gave up really early. All I wanted to do was stop playing this game, and I was not a fan.
It's a bad game. It's a bad
Oh, yeah.
video game.
It's a very bad game. Where exactly did it lose you?
Motorcycle? Immediately, it lost me.
Punching.
With the punching. The hitboxes are non-existent. If you are standing just a little too close, you punch through them, but you don't hurt them.
Yep.
The enemies, I mean, on the first level. But if you're just a little too far back, you miss them.
Oh, and they spawn so fucking fast.
And they're good with their throwing
Fast.
knives. They're so good with their throwing
Their
knives
throwing
against
knives-
the Terminator.
That are tiny. They're teeny tiny little bullets, and they're teeny tiny little throwing knives that you can't hardly see. Especially if you're playing on a Retroid like I was, a small tiny
on a small screen. Yeah.
It just did not work for me.
I did like if you kill the motorcycle guy, he just slumps over his motorcycle and continues to
going,
drive on.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I hate about that at the same time is like his motorcycle catches on fire and it's like that fire will hurt you, which I guess makes sense, but it's like I can't move fast. And it's like just trying to like get out of the way. It's just like it just burns the whole way.
And I don't understand why the fuck they needed so many phone booths. They were everywhere.
Oh, they're like 5 in front of that bar.
That's a truck stop. I
Nowhere
guess.
Only one had a phone book you get John Connor's number out of.
Yeah,
The rest-
exactly.
we just keep building until we get a phone book in one of them, then we'll stop.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that for me it was right off the bat. It lost me and it never got me back.
Well, would you buy it, rent it, or hope it was a birthday gift? Or none of the above.
I would have rented this and been very glad that I only rented it. And I would have been sad if I'd have gotten this for my birthday.
Yeah.
At first, I would have been like, sweet. And then I would have been sad because it's like, fuck.
I would have birthdayed and then try to return it to try to get something else
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
price.
The Returninator. It's a rent for me, dog. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyler, do you have any achievements for this game?
I've got 2. I've got, for the musical, you spare all the waitresses. because they do look just like the waitress in the musical and movie Waitress. And then like RoboCop shooting dicks. You kill 40 guys with your pistol in the bar. My 2 achievements.
All right. My turn?
Your turn.
My first achievement is with your bitch slap rapping and your cocaine tongue, you get nothing done, but you could be mine. And to earn that achievement, you purchase this game used for a undisclosed price.
We'll get to that.
According to pricecharting.com at the time of this recording. My second achievement is I'm here for some takeout. And to earn I'm here for some takeout, punch all the waitresses in the bar in the first stage of the game. And my next achievement is I played this game for longer than I should have.
Oh my God.
Turn the game off immediately after the start of the second stage for longer. And then my last one is I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, and a shotgun and a pistol and 2 future items that I need to destroy for some reason. And to earn...
This is my brother's head.
And my other brother's head.
We are triplets.
To earn that achievement, you watch the opening scene of the game and think it's going to be really good, only to be seriously disappointed immediately afterwards.
That's an easy one to unlock.
Easy. Don't have to do anything.
I only have 1 for this one, and this has a personal story behind it. This one's called Warning, This Home Protected by Home Security System. In order to unlock Warning, This Home Protected by Home Security System, finish the entire Connor home level without figuring out that you can disable the alarm that's blaring the entire time. I mean, it is just like, holy fuck, this is horrible because the music's playing and then the sound effects are going and then there's just this the entire time. There's a box on the house that you have to shoot to make it stop, and I didn't know it was there. Oh. Henry was like, what is happening to the game? It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the song.
Turn it off, Dad.
I don't know what it is. I got to like the first couple times, because you got to like, it's like the truck stop level, but instead of like finding the shotgun, you got to like find John Connor's ID.
Yeah.
And then you got to find fucking future items before you can leave. And it's like, I got to this room, the alarm's going the whole fucking time. It's at the very beginning of the house. It's just a box. It's a box at the very beginning you can shoot, but it's like,
Why would you think?
well, right.
It's like you could shoot and destroy the phone booths.
right.
Why?
Well, I remember watching the video, the part where you're trying to get John to follow you.
Oh, what?
I think you have to press select, and there will be an option called John Follow.
God
and you,
damn it.
And you toggle yes or no.
God damn it.
Just the fucking
God
dumbest
damn it,
thing.
motherfucker.
You don't do that at all in the game at
God
any
damn it!
point.
Fuck this game. I'm like pressing up on him because that's how you interact with the phone booth to get his number. That's how you interact with shit in the back. It's like Leisure Suit Larry out there in the Connor's house, walking around, going up the shelves, pressing up, searching for shit while cops are swarming the house, shooting your ass. Yeah, it's. God damn! You press select. Fuck that
You have
shit.
to go to your menu and choose for him to follow you.
The menu that you never go in for anything.
Yeah.
You go in. Okay, gotcha.
Because you have to have him following you when you go to Linda Hamilton. Otherwise, she'll ignore you. She doesn't even like cower and run from you without John. She just ignores you unless you have John following you. Then she'll follow you.
This is just in my imagination. It's just in my imagination. He's not really here. I really am crazy.
Dude, I didn't get to that point because here's what happened. When I was in the mall and I couldn't get him to follow me, I looked at the clock and was like, I've been playing this for an hour. Cool. I'll just let him die so that I can, because I record gameplay footage for Dane to then put with the YouTube video. I don't want it to be a hard cut. I don't want it to be a power off. I want the game to kind of end naturally and there be a game over screen. And then it's like, oh, fuck, he takes forever to die. So I'm just standing in the arcade with cops just
This kid doesn't think about protection. Look how tough he is.
and it goes on forever. It's like, God damn it! I've been standing here for like a full fucking minute, and I'm not dead yet. Select.
Because I remember like it was Snesh Drunk or somebody else that didn't walk through and saying, I couldn't figure it out, but for some reason this is how you have to do it.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who couldn't figure it out.
Yep.
I could have gone to Game Facts, but again, like I said, my hour was up.
Yep. No,
was
I'm
Not
with
worth
you.
the effort.
I was ready to tap out. No fucking continues. Also, we'll throw that out
God.
there.
What, one life, no
One
continues?
life, no continues. Granted, like I said, takes them forever to fucking die. But still, it's like, Jesus Christ. I got to like, once you get to the mall, which is like the third stage that's sandwiched between motorcycle levels, it's like, I'm not doing that again.
You want to check out what Flopsy has to say about it?
Yeah. What do you got? You guys have any guesses?
Surely to God, Flopsy only gave I'm going to go, with any luck, 2 stars. And I feel like this game was common.
I'm say common too. It's a big movie.
That's
game.
I would go common as well.
I'll hope that they're wise, and I'll say 1.5 stars.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that look.
No, I don't know.
4 stars.
Pat Contry says, check it out.
Dan Aykroyd is the Terminator. You can't miss it. The casting we always wanted.
Fuck, you do put it that way, and that is a good sell. Has it got John Belushi or Jim Belushi in it?
Oh, that does make you right.
Who plays the T-1000?
John and Jim as John Connor and Linda Ham.
Or is
And
the
Sarah
different
Connor.
Terminator?
I'm in,
Yeah. Liquidator played by Jim Belushi.
a.k.a. Alex Mack. Well, according to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike originally, rest in peace, Flopsy 1, and thank you, Shadowy Benefactor. They gave Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 2 stars, and this is an uncommon goddamn video game.
Wow. Okay.
That is mind-blowing
I'm
for
surprised.
as big as this movie was.
I guess they had one pressing and they just didn't do it again.
They're like, stop.
Yeah. Yep.
We can't. No one's going to want this. They're all saying it's horrible. What happened?
You're in direct violation of the Geneva Convention. Do you remember playing The Terminator for SNES?
Mm-hmm.
That was 2.5 stars.
It is better.
Yeah, I agree, but not by much.
No. I remember that first
I
level
really
just
didn't.
being torturously
Yes,
long.
so long.
I remember, I haven't seen this movie, but is half of it the first level what you're in the future?
Spoilers for T2, the arcade game coming up.
Yep.
Tyler, are we doing separate beards and glasses, or you want to do a big old beard and glass?
I'll give beards
at the
and
end?
glasses for both.
All right.
Yeah.
If you were to give this game a beard, what kind of beard would you give it?
A beard where you're buried to your neck and you've got honey all over your face, and Fire Ants are just chewing it off.
A robot teabags you.
yeah.
Man, I cut the fuck out of myself on Flopsy.
you sure
Flopsy
did.
took a bite out of me.
You have offered a blood sacrifice
have.
to Flopsy.
Let's
So now we have to use the randomizer. You've
That's
made the blood off.
some bright red vaccinated blood right there. Good Lord, I'm gonna have to stop and get a fucking
Flopsy was
tissue or some
afraid.
shit. Yeah,
It's vaccinated now.
Tyler, if you were
Yes,
to
Dave.
give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
LASIK that slipped.
Yikes!
Ow.
Yikes.
Final Destination 2, I
Yeah.
believe. That happened in that movie.
I can't be behind a fucking truck carrying logs. We talked about this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
How much do you guys think this game is? I know we're doing shit all out of order. It's my bad.
No, it's fine. We're
good.
going to go back and do it all again for the next game.
Get a second run at it.
Yeah. I already know I have to recuse myself.
Oh, you know?
Because of my achievement.
Okay.
But I didn't want to say what I knew to be true because
Okay.
Tyler can still guess.
Tyler, how much do you think this game is?
$40.
$40. Actual retail value of Terminator 2 Judgment Day for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $14.99. 99 cents.
For an uncommon game.
I guess it's just that bad.
Yeah.
That's really rare. I mean,
That is super cheap, especially these days.
Yes, that is super cheap.
For a title like that. Not that it's good, but just that it's Terminator 2.
Yep. I mean, there are collectors out there, right? I mean, who would buy this just because it's a Terminator 2 video game. But yeah.
Is it worth it to you?
Yeah.
I think so. For a collection,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean you have to play it.
Right.
It just means you own it.
Look at this piece of shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you believe I bought this?
I'd play it and drink PBR, ironically.
Yeah, you're right. I don't.
All right, you want to jump through this time portal?
Please, let's go on this roller coaster with clocks on it.
And get sick and turn in circles and vomit our corn syrupy ice cream all over T2, the arcade game.
Yes, please.
That's the box art. What'd you think of box art for T2, the arcade game?
This box art made me laugh. I laughed aloud at this box art. So you see the skeletal skull, metal skull of the Terminator on the front of this thing.
Yes, the endo skull.
Right in the very front. You know, it's the biggest thing on there. He's cross-eyed. For some reason, he's cross-eyed, and that means
Human
I guess
realism.
that means he actually played this game. Behind him is a picture of the arcade machine in an arcade to make sure everybody that can't read understands that this is the arcade game.
We got complaints, Grandma. Okay, this one is the arcade game.
And then, of course, there's a tiny picture of Arnold in the bottom right-hand corner that was pasted in from the cover of the other game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I guess that's something. I laughed so hard at that derpy ass fucking, the way his eyes are crossed. That made me so fucking happy.
I thought it was fake. I did. I thought it was fake.
It looks like someone made it for a bootleg.
Yeah. Because when I do searches, it's just like, all right, T2, the arcade game, SNES box art, enter. That can't be right. Because there are things out there like that, where people make bootleg like covers and stuff like that. And then I was like, no, this one's coming up a lot.
It's the real deal. And
it's a really popular Photoshop, man.
his red eyes.
You like my meme?
I wouldn't say so much he's cross-eyed as he's got a lazy eye. His right eye is just kind of up in the upper quadrant. I mean, it's just so fucking funny.
Can that be a Discord emoticon for confusion? Just the cross-eyed Terminator skull?
Sure.
Yeah, take it from the bottom. It's got this neon glow behind it, greenish, orangish neon glow. God, it is one of the worst covers.
It's bad.
Just because of the execution and the composition.
There's no design to it. No, there's no design to it. They were like, fuck, we got to put the arcade cabinet on this box. But the problem is that Super Nintendo boxes are horizontal. They're landscape, and arcade cabinets are vertical. They stand up vertically. What are we going to do? Well, we did this other game that had this art. I guess we could pull that image over. That's not confusing at all, is it? No, it's fine. Wait, these games don't both come out simultaneously in 1993, do they? Oh, they do? Oh, well, fuck it, I guess.
Just put some shit on the box, Dave. We need this done. We need this done. I don't care. Just make it. Make it happen.
Hey, the new Dave is totally like, you got it. You got it, man. I get my check on Friday. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boom. Is this good? Good.
Whatever you want, Daddy.
That's right.
Well, you guys, I have a Pauly Shore movie, but I don't have a regular movie. So what do you guys have for your movie comparison?
Well, I didn't go movie. I went TV show.
Perfect.
This one, I also didn't care for this game really either. We'll get into why.
It's bad.
It's just bad.
Yeah,
I get it.
But I compared this to the television show Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I've never seen this. I've heard of it.
We watched at it because I was pumped. I'm a huge Terminator fan. So we're like, oh, good. Finally, we're gonna have a. Lena Headey was in it. She played Sarah Connor.
Okay, that's good casting.
but it just fell flat. They disregarded Terminator 3, which was called Rise of the Machines.
I never saw that
Is
one.
that the one with Christian Bale?
I believe so.
I liked that
I think
one.
it had the female Terminator in it.
Oh, then I didn't. Or was that Genesis that had the
Maybe.
Genesis.
Genesis? Thank you.
No, it wasn't.
Terminator Genesis.
Yes. The show's over. Well, that's good. Let's end on that.
The woman that played Daenerys in Game of Thrones was in Genesis.
Okay, so that's because also the
I
one
think
where it's all in
Terminator
the future where Arnold is CGI'd
And
in.
Claire
and-
Danes is in it.
or Bryce Dallas Howard is in the
Or
one.
no, it's
I
Bryce
saw.
Dallas. Yeah. Anyway, they disregard Terminator 3 and then pick up with Sarah Connor's life after Terminator 2. And it was supposed to be really good. And at first it was fine. And then it just kind of disappointed and fell flat. And I just sort of felt that way about this game too. I wanted it to be more than it was. And it just wasn't.
It wasn't.
So. Oh, and then I picked a Pauly Shore movie. This was a cameo that he did in a recent movie called How It Ends. And in this movie, it's about the last day on Earth before a meteor crashes into the planet, killing everyone. LA is deserted, and Pauly Shore has a cameo as himself. This is the reality where Skynet did not take over and cause global thermonuclear destruction of the human race, but instead, a meteor does it. And we have Pauly Shore.
Okay.
So I never saw the movie, read up on it because I did a search for Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
And Terminator.
Same. Yeah. And I didn't, that's how I got I'll Be Back.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got one, I'm done. That's good. That's good enough. The movie that I chose was Fruit Brute. Fruit Brute. Was Armageddon. A movie that I haven't seen, but there's a song in it. I don't want to miss a thing. By a band called Aerosmith. You guys.
This is new information.
Yeah,
dude.
of course it is.
They did Dream On. Okay.
They did.
song.
Oh,
Yeah.
the ones that did Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Them and Love in an Elevator.
That's right. Walk
guy-
this way.
The guy who adopted like a 14-year-old girl so he could take her across state lines and have sex with her. That's Steven Tyler from Aerosmith?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And we're mad at Adam Levine. Think about that.
I just like the memes. Oh, your fucking body's ridiculous.
No, they're great. It's fucking
just Shrek.
fantastic. It's fucking fantastic. So I chose that because there is a video game that reminded me of T2, the arcade game called Revolution X.
Revolution X.
And if you're like, what's Revolution X? I would say, have you played Terminator 2, the arcade game? And if you said yes, I'd be like, it's that, but with Aerosmith.
Have you listened to our show? Go back and listen
Check
to
it
the episode. You know what? I never think I'd say this about something, but very few things. I think Revolution X is better.
This is rough. This is real rough. I fucking hate. I don't know. It's tough because I don't think Revolution X had Super Scope support.
I'll give it that. Yep.
T2, the arcade game,
But
does.
there's no cameos from Steven Tyler telling you what to do and collect Aerosmith CDs.
There might be. I didn't get that far in the game because it's hard. But there's some shared DNA there because Revolution X was like a midway jam. So I mean, it's like I remember playing T2, the arcade game, at like a convenience store as a kid. But like outside of that, I don't really remember the cabinet that well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough where it's like, did they just reuse the T2 cabinet for Revolution X? Like, was that possible? Because that happens a lot in arcades.
Yeah,
Sure
I
they
would
did.
just switch out that board and put on a new decal. Probably.
So that's kind of my thinking there too. But it's like they all use that kind of like mocap that they were like famous for. That is like was super cool at the time and like does not age very well at all.
And it does not translate into Super Nintendo cartridges
No.
at all.
No, and I like
And even less for a Sega Genesis cartridge.
Absolutely. Yeah, which I didn't
Or
play.
a Game Boy cartridge.
I know this released on the Game Boy as well. I wanted to check that one out,
Yep.
but
As if the
Didn't.
movie didn't make enough money. Cash grab time.
Now that arcade game was like,
The arcade game was awesome.
and it's well remembered and well regarded. There's a point in time I was reading that it outsold, its sales were better than Street Fighter 2. And that says a fucking lot because
Damn.
Street Fighter 2, when this game came out in 1991, like that was a hot ass game, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's wild. And to see it on the Super Nintendo, it makes it very hard to believe because this game is it's bad. It's a bad
bad.
It's a bad game.
It is real bad. It is just slightly not as bad as Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
I don't think
But
it's.
it's
I don't think it's
real close.
quite as bad.
Oh
Do you have
yeah.
what? Your Polly Shore?
I don't have Encino Man done.
Okay, I've got my Polly Shore.
Oh, yeah.
Which was chose a TV show where he is in a few episodes of this television show where they shoot a lot of guns. I've actually seen this. I jerked off to it as a kid.
Oh,
It is VIP with Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson. I know that show. Yeah.
So coming home from school, that was usually on.
Yeah.
So it worked in a pinch.
There you
She's
go.
just running around shooting guns with her two sidekicks. Sort of a really bad ripoff of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
VIP, where Polly Shore makes a cameo on
Wheezes her
several
juice.
episodes. Wheezes the shit out of her juice. Good things about T2, the arcade game.
I have some good things.
I have a couple of good things.
Go for it.
Definitely, they tried to make it look like the arcade game. I liked the fact that when you fire it up, it's got the initial screen, the high scores, with Robert Patrick's Terminator 1000, T1000, standing behind it, looking at you menacingly. Thought that was neat. I always like, it's a weird thing, like, I've been in situations where I've had to power up video games, and I always like when you plug in an arcade cabinet and it boots up. There's something pleasant about that to me.
Sure.
And I thought that I kind of got that feeling from this.
Yeah, it does like the ROM check.
Yeah. And it felt pretty good. They had a good setup. You know, they kind of give you the story of what's going on, and as if you don't already know, but fine, whatever. You know, they give you the story and tell you that it's all up to you. And they do that with slide graphics, which I thought were pretty good. And then that was my second thing. And then my third thing was it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad as Terminator 2 Judgment Day, in my opinion. So, what are your good things, Dave?
I already mentioned one, and that it's Super Scope compatible. That's a short
That
list
is
of games
good.
on the
That is
Super
good.
Nintendo.
Yep. And mouse compatible.
And mouse compatible, which
It's on my list.
I'd
as
almost
well.
rather use the D-pad than the SNES mouse.
What?
But I'll loop back around on this. The Super Scope compatibility also on my bad list. We'll get to it. But it's neat that they recognized, hey, we should make this compatible with that gun thing because, you know.
It's a rail shooter.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was compatible with the Genesis version as well, whatever that was
Minister,
called.
I think it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. I thought that I kind of ragged on this a little bit earlier, but the fact that a lot of the game does take place in the future, while not really focusing on the movie, would be considered a bad thing. I liked that.
I can see where that would be cool when it came out. Like, you actually get to stay in the future and kill shit. Like,
Well,
I think
they spend a lot
eventually-
of time talking about the war,
Right.
and about the battles with the robots.
And you see some of it.
that is important,
Right.
That you get more of that in the first movie
Yes.
than
And the first game.
and the first game than you do in the in this or in the second movie. But that is a cool thing to be in that because you don't see a lot of
Right.
it in those movies.
It's neat. It's a lot more interesting to me. And it makes more sense that you were like, okay, comparing Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the SNES game, versus the arcade game. You got one where you're shooting unlimited bikers and cops and all that. And then you got another where you're fighting an army of Terminators.
Right.
Which one of those sounds more interesting? And to me, it's like, the future shit. Like
Yeah.
I want to fight. Yeah,
I want to punch and jump flop at some infinite bikers.
Right. But can you imagine if they like took that same approach with this game, which is like probably like I'm sure and there's a draft of this game somewhere where it's like you just shoot waves of bikers in the bar
Yep.
Yeah.
until you
And
get
then
until you
cops.
collect enough boots.
And then more cops.
Right.
Get more- and then little pieces of the liquidator over and over again. I just had that it was, it's playable. Like, if you like gallery shooters, I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. It's not the type of game I enjoy at all. But I didn't seem to find any big flaws with it as far as that type of game goes.
I have a couple that I will get to on the bad list because I had some real issues with.
What are your bad stuff?
I'll start with I thought the shooting, man, they put you in so many situations that I know they were thinking we're making a good decision by doing this. And from an arcade standpoint, I agree. This is a good monetary decision to do this. But they put you in so many situations in this game where it's like, you got to shoot these Terminators that are shooting you, but you also can't shoot the civilians. We're going to give you a 4-pixel window
That
to do that.
and
it's fucking constant.
Fucking game breaker.
It's constant, dude.
I hate
it's
it.
all the time.
That ruined this game for me. Is the friendly fire?
It's
That
horrible.
Tiny little spot on the
Fucking
screen
horrible.
is the only
and
place.
it's tiny.
because
it's tiny. Even in the first level,
Yeah.
it really is like 4 or 5 pixels.
And what really added to that, what piled on top of that, headshots aren't a thing. You don't you shoot them in the head, even the ones that are up close. If you shoot them in the head, their head just flutters.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. You have to hit them in the body. The biggest problem with hitting them only in the body is that on the levels where you've got 4 humans, co-soldiers,
right.
in front of you holding the wall, and that one tiny little crack in the wall is the only place you can shoot.
Yep.
Their heads are above the Terminator heads.
Yep.
Off in the distance are above the people you're not supposed to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't shoot them in the fucking head. You have to shoot them in the body, so you have to wait for them to cross in that one little spot and just hold your gun there and hope they cross into it.
And meanwhile, they're shooting the shit out of you.
And
Like, I
they
mean,
are.
it's constant.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a
Yeah.
Any given
constant.
time, there are 5 of those fucking things on the screen, if not more.
Which again makes sense from an arcade standpoint. I mean, this is a licensed Terminator 2 video game in the arcade that
Yeah.
looks really good and sounds really good and has like the novelty of a gun, like an Uzi mounted to it. Like, this is gonna draw kids.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna play this. So it's like fucking Wayne's World, Noah's Arcade.
Yeah.
Where I mean, it's just like, and the beauty of it is their life just, no matter what they do, it just goes down and down and down.
There's no next level. They can't be able to continue.
But that was the friendly fire thing that broke it for me.
It's
Like,
horrible.
instantly.
And there's a stage, this will lead into my next bad point. It's so ambiguous as to whether or not your gunfire is doing anything. And Ian, you kind of touched on that when talking about the headshots, where it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's hurting them and what's not. Worse than that, there's a stage where you're like, so you find John Connor, right? And it's like, okay, target, make sure he lives. And it's like, okay. And he gets in this red pickup truck that has like a gunner on the back. And they're like shooting these, I guess they call them HK helicopters
Hunter
or whatever.
killers.
Hunter killers. Okay, that's what it stands for.
Yeah, HK.
So they're shooting at those. Meanwhile, the gold Terminators are shooting at you, and like HKs are trying to take out the truck. It's so you're put in this situation where I feel like I'm trying to shoot around the truck, and I'm like, but are my shots hurting the truck? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I assume they are because there's friendly fire in this game, and it's like I could not make it past this stage, and it was a bad feel. It never, I guess, feels bad to lose, but it felt unfair. It felt like I'm never going to get good enough at this in order to get past it. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, it just feels like it is beyond my capability. ever in this lifetime to get past the stage.
I couldn't get past the first boss.
The first boss is ridiculous.
There's no way to know. Again, you don't know where you're hitting it. If you're the first thing you do is you shoot out the gun turrets that are on its arms, which I don't even know what this thing's supposed to be. Some giant hunter killer.
They call it like a land HK.
It's the thing from RoboCop.
Yeah, the prototype in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you shoot those off and you think, okay, I'm making some progress here. At this point, I had loaded up on missiles and loaded up on everything I could. I was blasting this thing. So I started blasting.
Anyway.
Unloading missiles onto. I couldn't tell if I was doing any damage to this thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if I was hitting a sweet spot. I tried nailing it in every little place I could think of.
Same.
And nothing was happening to it. And I finally gave up. I just gave up because I didn't want to spend any more time on it. Same with the first game. This isn't fun. This is really frustrating and somehow also boring. And I'm done. So I gave up.
And you were playing it with a controller, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, Tyler, you're playing it with a controller as well. So you're moving a reticle around the screen with the D-pad.
Correct.
And that is real fucking hard because especially that boss that you're talking about, the land HK, he starts shooting these large missiles at you.
Yeah,
and
big red.
Yeah.
And they are constantly coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a steady stream. I mean, it really is. I mean, you're right. It's constant. So with the D-pad, this is really, really, really hard because that's like what you're supposed to do is like in a lot of gallery shooters, you're supposed to shoot down what he's shooting at you and then in between that shoot him. But when you're using the D-pad,
it's all you could do to go back and forth.
That was impossible for me. It really was. Like it was impossible. It was like I guess I just eat the damage and focus on him.
That's exactly what I tried to do, and I ran out of continues trying to do it. And it was just, I understand. And like even during the first part of the game, in the first level, when they're throwing like grenades at you,
yes, and you can shoot those out of the sky,
but they'll throw them and they'll disappear off screen.
Yep, and you're like, what happened?
What happened?
I noticed that. I was like, I guess I won't even fuck with this.
Yeah.
Did it hurt me? Did it not hurt me? Yeah.
It did, but there's no good indication. There's no flash on the screen or anything.
There's no arc. It goes up and off.
And then it disappears.
You don't really get a fair shot at shooting them.
No, especially with the D-pad.
But that final boss just did it because it was like, I am not missing this fucking guy. I let my gun charge up because, when your gun's in full charge, you're rapid firing Contra style. You've got all the bullets coming out
until it slows down.
God,
it's like
that was
overheats.
stupid.
I hate
that was a stupid mechanic.
It's like it overheats and you can only go pew pew pew.
Yeah.
And then you wait for it to charge up. But the other thing that frustrated the shit out of me was I didn't even realize until more than halfway through the first level that you could get upgrades to your weapon.
You shoot the boxes on the
The boxes at the bottom are obscured.
They are.
You can't tell that they're even like things that they don't have any kind of flash. They don't have any kind of indication that weapon. They don't do anything. I accidentally opened one and I was like, holy shit.
Sure.
I could have had this better gun or more missiles this whole time.
Yep.
And I missed out on it. And it was like, you're not feeding me the thing. When we're talking about a rail shooter, those things are designed to make that kind of thing obvious. It's a big flashing icon that looks like a shotgun or whatever, and you shoot it. Now you've got a shotgun or whatever. This was totally not obvious. It was totally
there's
no
camouflage.
Area 51 sort of stuff would have been nice in this game, but
no, it just missed the boat. The design of this game, it just did not translate at all to this system.
I'm not gonna lie, I have fond memories of the T2 arcade game. I have not played it recently, but I'm willing to bet it's not a good game. In hindsight, like I imagine if
the actual arcade game.
Based on everything that I've seen, I'm sure it's better than the Super Nintendo port. I'm positive that it is.
Right.
Has to be. But I'm willing to bet if I were to play this arcade game now, I'd be like, oh yeah, this was like this was designed to take as much money as possible and not be fair at all. And
it's just cool to have the gun peripheral that shakes whenever you shoot it.
Totally. Absolutely.
And to have the action of holding the weapon and firing it at the screen, and it feels like you're doing something.
It was a cool feeling.
Yeah. All of those games are like that.
That feeling does not translate to the Super Nintendo
not
at all.
The slightest.
Not even with the Super Scope. And that's I got the Super Scope set up, and this is a gripe about the Super Scope more so than Terminator 2. I never know when that fucking thing is working or not. I never know. There's no power. There's a power switch, but there's no light. There's no indicator.
Yep.
So it's like if it doesn't work, I'm like, do I plug this in? I plug this in controller part 2, right? And then so there's always that.
Yep.
And then it's like, is it different from game to game? I don't know. So like setting it up was like a fucking 15-minute ordeal in itself. So by the time it's set up and I put 6 new AA batteries in it, by the time it's all set up, I'm already in a bad mood.
Right.
It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, normally I do this on Christmas morning and then let my kids play with the toys I just assembled, and I don't have to fuck with it. Now I've gone through all this and I have to play with it.
I'm trying different games. I'm like, well, what if I put in Metal Combat? Will it work on that? Is it a problem? Does it just not work with T2? Like I had to go through troubleshooting steps in order to try it. And this is, again, not a gripe on T2. It's more just a, come on, Nintendo. You fucking had that shit solved when you made the Zapper.
This is like $80 too. Like what? Yeah.
Just plug it into the console. Oh, fuck, look at that. It works. Jesus Christ. Okay.
I did play in this game. There was a moment I laughed out loud. Because when you're with the 4 humans behind the wall, waves of like awesome shit coming at you, and you're behind, supporting the 4 soldiers, and then like the fucking female gremlin, you just see a full-scale Terminator just saunter behind enemy lines with like the 4 soldiers not even fucking budging, and the Terminator's like, hey!
He's like Garfield with a top hat on the fence.
He's just right there
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
I was like, what the fuck? Is he an ally? What the fuck is he just like, oh hey, blam? Like what the fuck?
Well, it's not just blam. I think that's a problem too, because it's like you play good gallery shooters and you have an option to kill something that's up on you real fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this one you have to like lay in. I mean, it's like, holy shit. I mean, that's not the
So if you're
shoot
doing
this
the
thing point
helicopter to
blank.
the other side, you got to go all the way. Yep.
Well, that's that. Yeah, if you've got your D-pad and you're shooting up here, the thing pops up in the lower left-hand corner and takes up most of the screen, but you're like,
Hold on a minute.
left, down, fire.
And we're there. Oh, wait, I have to hit him multiple times?
It's no wild guns.
This game really gave me I loved Wild Guns to
Guns
begin with,
was
but this
awesome.
gave me,
That's
like,
great.
so many times when I was playing this game, I was like, I wish this were Wild Guns.
If they had set it up like that, oh man, it would have been a much more enjoyable experience for sure.
I have another bad thing about this game that I liked better than Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the SNES game. Keep that in mind. That tells you something about that other game. While the Super Scope was, once it was set up and working, thank you, Grim, by the way, for giving that to us. It worked fine. It played a lot better. It played a lot better. I was able to do things that I felt like you should be able to do.
You can snap
like,
to it.
Yes,
and,
collect power-ups and then like snap back to kill Terminators and do all that stuff. The fire button is the fucking cursor button on the Super Scope, which if you don't remember what that is, it's that clicky, it's that tiny round. It's like the
Not
size.
the button on your shoulder, like in Metal Combat.
Nope, not that one. Not the one you think that or hope that it would be.
The one that would make. Oh my god!
It's the one that you use to like calibrate and shit. So it's real clicky.
That's fucking dumb.
And it is literally the size of like a pencil eraser.
Oh, God.
So you're rapidly, and you can't hold it down. You're rapidly.
Oh, no.
This
because you
thing.
can hold it down on the control pad. Oh,
That's
wow.
awful.
So
And somebody picked it up. I guess it makes this be this one. Like that's. Oh god, that makes me mad.
So the top button that should be the fire button fires the rockets. It makes more sense to me where it's like, oh, the thing you have less of, use the less
comfortable
convenient button.
Yeah.
And also, what was super frustrating was using the super scope. The reticle is still there, but it only moves when you're firing. So that means that you have to just kind of guess where you're going to shoot, and then the reticle goes to that position.
Then don't have it.
It's better though. It is, but yeah, it's implemented pretty poorly.
Yeah, that's super shitty.
It's also really, really bright. I guess they had to make it brighter in order for it to work.
Yeah.
But like everything is like super saturated, and it's like if you turn the brightness up 50%, it's pretty wild.
You know, the NES had Duck Hunt right out of the gate, and it was perfect.
There you go, and it worked just great. You just plug that in there, okay, and we're ready.
It was flawless, and I loved it. And it was, they could have just done that for any of the, for all the super scopes. It didn't have to be the scope. Just make another pistol.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It was.
We're cool.
And we're in
with
bed
pistol.
with big battery.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, is there a point that this? I think you talked about the boss, the truck level. I guess that's really where it lost us. For me, that second thing where I just thought it was so boring because everything took so long to kill. Even on that second section with the 4 humans, it was just like I got through it and I was like, God, that took fucking forever.
Yes, it did.
It does take a huge, and they
yes,
don't
it
give you
did.
any idea of how long or what you've got to do to move forward.
Yeah, am I killing the right things? Am I not supposed to do this?
But the friendly fire being so hard to not kill your allies.
Killed them.
That's where it broke. That's where it broke for me.
Yeah, that sucks. That's so frustrating and not fun. There are so many elements to this game where it's like, man, you could have made this game fun. You could have made this game fun, but instead you chose not to.
Yep.
And it's like there's something to be said about being faithful to an arcade port. I can understand that. But if you're going to do that, give me unlimited credits.
Yes. If you're going to do it at the expense of my time,
yep,
then fuck you.
Or give me several difficulties, and those difficulties each give you a different amount of credits if you want to be like kind of competitive about it. But like, don't do it the way that you've done it, which is like, you got 3 credits, man. Just, I don't know, just see how far you can get.
Because I thought I read somewhere where you could hit L and R and give yourself 9 more credits.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
And then
that's good.
Because someone talked about how, before you fight bosses or something like that, a lot of other games will have like, and I didn't know this about Super Castlevania 4. Before you fight Dracula, that stairway going up, if you fall through, that you can go and get all your fucking power-ups. I had no idea until I was reading it, watching a video about fucking this game. I was like, oh, and they were bitching about how like you got no options. You can give yourself a few more credits, but that's it.
I didn't even know you could give yourself more credits. That I guess kind of lessens what I just said, because
but still, if you don't know, it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to have limited credits. Just let me fucking play it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Or make it a mode.
Or alter it. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
make it a mode where you got true, pure arcade mode. And then, hey, we realize this isn't fun at home.
Because guess how many quarters I paid to buy this cartridge in the first place? Give me unlimited play.
Yep.
Right.
It's because you can't get good at this. You just can't get like good at it.
It doesn't feel like it. It really
doesn't have that. It doesn't feel good ever.
Agreed.
It's broken. It's broken.
And there are like, especially compared to like Falcon's Revenge and stuff, where that feels so good.
Yep.
And that's like when the Super Scope really shines.
Yep.
It sucks when it's just kind of like, it just feels.
When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's really bad.
When it's bad, it's swampy.
Yeah.
It's swampy.
Well, would you guys say buy, rent, or birthday?
Well, before we do that, we did not do Copper Bottom 100 on either one of these
one
yet.
of them.
Oh, you're right.
I forgot about that.
I did too.
I'm going to jump back to Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
You're going to time travel.
Just real quick. I'm going to step through the portal real fast.
Oh, your clothes are gone.
Oh, good. Finally.
Future Ian's naked.
Yay. But I have a nice convenient fence post, a fence right at my crotch level to hide my embarrassingly small junk from the rest of the world. I do not have the experience that you guys have in this. I haven't been doing this as long as you have. been here about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to the show for years. Obviously, I know your feelings on things, but based on my experience thus far, Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the worst Super Nintendo game I have ever played. It is at absolute top bottom.
Wow, that's your rock bottom.
It's this game is my rock bottom. I fucking hated this game, and I will never. I'm gonna delete it from my Retroid. I hated it so much. You know, I'm a collector of ROMs in that way. I don't mind having them all, but I hated this game. Worst game ever. That may change, but as far as my personal experience on this show as a host,
I get it.
This is it. This is the absolute. I'm going to compare everything to this now.
Yeah.
And then the Terminator 2 arcade. I'm zipping back now to the present.
You're closer back.
Hey, good.
They're rags. This is the future.
They're all torn and shredded, and I'm eating some kind of paste.
Oh, nice paste. You gonna eat all your paste?
I ate all my paste, Mom. Can I have some dessert paste?
Yeah, can I have some green paste? Not until you finish your beige paste.
Arcade game made it bottom 100 though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where, but it's not even in the gray for me. I wouldn't play this again. Not gonna.
Yeah, I'm with you. Dave?
Which one?
T2.
T2?
Well, I guess they're both T2. Judgment Day.
Judgment Day? Yeah, it's a bottom 100. I feel like I've played worse games, but not too terribly many. But yeah, bottom 100 for sure. T2, the arcade game? Probably not. But that's also because it's all. I feel like it's a little bit different because I wish I would have brought the Super Scope over so you guys could have tried it. It might have changed your mind, probably not much, but that kind of does. The fact that there are so few of those on the system
that does give it points.
That elevates it enough for me to kind of pull it out of the bottom 100. It's still in the bottom half of the games, but it saves it from the trash bin for me.
Yeah. I would give Judgment Day my bottom 25.
Yeah.
Bottom 25. And then I'll add a 0 onto it and say the arcade's my bottom 250.
I feel like that's a good spot for it.
Okay, now we're caught up.
Yep. Buy, rent, birthday.
Rent.
I can see where I would think it'd be fun to try and rent it. Yeah.
I own
I
it.
agree.
With a 2-player,
So I guess buy.
and a 2-player deal might work. You can play this 2-player
That's true. I forgot to
on the
mention
same
that.
screen.
That's a plus.
That is a plus. That does help, I think, and it would have to have some backup.
And-
you know,
yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
the fucking your people that you shoot all the fucking time don't help you at all. They're just in the way. But yeah,
They are
having
very much in the way.
a second player would be a good thing.
And you can play, one person can be playing on the Super Scope and the other person could be using a controller. I didn't try this, but I believe that one person could be playing. No, that wouldn't work. I was going to say someone could be doing Super Scope and mouse, but no, I think you have to have a controller hooked up. At least one.
So that would
Man, I should
help.
try
So
that.
that's why it makes a good rental. Have a buddy over for a sleepover and rent this game.
Yeah.
Play it for a couple hours and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
You want to see what Flopsy has to say about it?
Yeah, what do you guys think? I'm afraid I'm going to fucking cut my body open again on this thing. These pages are fucking sharp.
That book is fresh. It still clicks when you open it.
I know.
I love it.
It's got all the fixins.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
All the clicks and
Do you know about Clixon? I'll tell you later.
I'd say 2.5 stars and make it a common game.
I'm going to go 3 and I'm going to go uncommon. I'm going to go with what they said for the first game.
See, I haven't looked yet, but I'm kind of wondering, why was Terminator 2 uncommon? And what I'm thinking is it might have been uncommon because they pressed more copies of T2, the arcade game.
That could be it.
So I'm going to go common.
Okay.
I don't think they liked this game. I think this is a fuck. What do they give Terminator 2?
They
2
gave
stars.
Terminator 2 2 stars.
I'm gonna say 2 stars on this one as well.
Okay, I'm going 3 and uncommon.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I guess T2 is probably in the beginning. Fruit Brute. T2, the arcade game. Wow.
Oh no! Oh no!
You ready, boys?
They probably love gallery shooters.
Ready, boys?
Ready?
I mean, good gallery shooters are good.
Yeah, Wild Guns was good.
Wild Guns
I
is
liked
good.
Wild
Yeah.
Guns. That was a good game.
Availability, common.
Okay, so maybe that's why the other one's uncommon. Okay.
Rating, 3.5 stars.
Wrong.
Pat Country says, check it
He
out.
does.
No.
Wrong.
No.
But when I do read the synopsis, the reflection section, the very first sentence is about the arcade cabinet. So, speaking fondly, fond memories of the arcade cabinet, I'm willing to bet that colored.
It's colored. Yep, absolutely, 100%. Yep, I think that's exactly what it is.
3.5 goddamn stars.
Oh boy, not even close.
So what about is there an index by stars in the back so you can see what other games have 3.5 stars?
I don't think so, but we can randomly pick and choose. There is an index, but it's alphabetical.
Wow, damn.
Boys, have any achievements for this game?
I do.
Go for it.
I have 3. My first achievement for Terminator or T2, the arcade game. Hey Janelle, what's wrong with Wolfie? I can hear him barking. Is he all right? Wolfie's fine, honey. Wolfie's just fine. Where are you? Your foster parents are dead. And to earn that achievement, you kill 2 or more friendlies due to lack of options since headshots don't work as you're scrolling through this game and shooting at Terminators. My second achievement is we're not going to make it, are we? People, I mean. It's in your nature to destroy yourselves. And to earn this achievement, kill 4 or more friendlies due to lack of options since headshots don't work on the Terminators. And my final achievement is, now you got to promise me you're not going to kill anyone, right? Right. Swear? What? Just put up your hand and say, I swear I won't kill anyone. I swear I won't kill anyone. And to earn that achievement, kill 6 or more friendlies due to lack of options since headshots are ineffective against Terminators in this game. Those are my 3 achievements.
Mine was similar. Fuck it. Kill the humans too. And then, like a Ukrainian Toyota, take down 20 copters using rocket launchers from the back of the truck.
All right.
Like the Ukrainians are doing to all the Russian jets and helicopters in the back of Toyota Tundras.
Mm-hmm. Flopsy gave Final Fight the same score as it did.
Oh my God.
Which, I mean, it's Final Fight on the SNES is flawed compared to the arcade game, but I mean, come the fuck on.
Yep.
But at least it sort of tries to earn its stars.
So by that logic, it could have been on IGN's top
100.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, at the very bottom.
Tied for the bottom.
Put it on there. Bullshit.
First achievement I've got for T2, the arcade game, is Mine Bratwurst has a second name. It's SCHNACKENPFEFFERHAUSEN. In order to unlock Mine Bratwurst has a second name. It's SCHNACKENPFEFFERHAUSEN. Play as Player 2 in Terminator 2.
Fuck. I love that.
Second achievement is endoscopic surgeon or endoscopic surgeon. Kill all endoskeletons with a super scope in the first level without
good.
taking a hit.
That's
it's impossible.
Impossible.
Probably as hard as it is to get boarded in endoscopy.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've had a lot of fun cutting myself open on this book multiple
did you
times.
do it again?
Yeah, I did a second time. I sure did. It was actually, it opened up the first paper cut.
I'll get some of those white gloves that they use at the Quilt Museum when they handle the museums you can put on before you handle Flopsy.
I think Flopsy Jr. caught a glimpse of Flopsy Sr.'s desiccated, mold-infested corpse.
Doesn't want you to touch
And
it.
it's like, yeah, exactly.
Don't touch me.
Cursed item. If you were to give this game a beard, that sums up how you feel about it. What kind of beard would you give it?
A beard that's really, 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 really long. Because this game is way too long. Way, 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 way too long.
Yeah, it's a long boy.
Boring and long and hard.
And what's like nice? What's what's weird is like as long as that first stage is, the second stage is literally like an eighth of that. It's almost as if the arcade game they were like they're never gonna pay.
They won't make it back.
They're never gonna get past the first
It
level.
is Noah's okay.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, it sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would you give it?
I'd give it a pair of very expensive prescription sunglasses. Because you have to be really fucking dedicated. Because, I mean, if you're going to pay a lot for sunglasses, like you're going to invest in this game, it's going to be a very specific thing you're into.
And they would protect you from the fallout and the radiation of the bombs dropping.
That's Oakley's.
When
for
you fail, they blame it all on you.
Yeah.
No, that's in the first one. When you fail in the Judgment Day, they blame,
all of humankind?
They blame
Yeah.
the death of all of humankind on.
Which I mean,
Which kind of is your fault.
but is it? You tried, right?
Tried.
Isn't it really the villain's fault?
I would say it's the folly of man's fault.
Indeed.
Just like the Geth in Mass Effect. I mean, just what happens.
Or just like Terminator 2 and Skynet.
How much do you think this game is?
I feel like with it being common, but more like a popular arcade port, I don't know. I'd probably still put it in the 1995 range. 1995.
Okay.
$10? Say $10. Why not?
Actual retail value of T2, the arcade game for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $11.86. Is it worth it?
So for less
For
than
a
30
collector,
bucks,
yeah.
you could have both these games in,
Yeah.
in your collection.
Yeah.
I think for two well-known titles, I'd say it would be worth it for a collector, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not a collector, so I don't really know.
So don't buy it.
So I am not going to buy it.
Well, that brings us to the close of 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to call that long boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be it's about the length of Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
And way more entertaining, right?
We did
Actually-
it on purpose.
Actually, I think we're up to maybe Avengers Endgame length for this episode. But that's okay.
And way more entertaining, right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But I've had a good time talking about it.
I have too. Yeah.
How do we want to do next week?
Do you guys have something that you want to do specifically, or do you want to randomize it, or what do you want to do?
Not that it'll matter because I'm lazy and I don't always get around to playing the games until right 2 days before the show. We do have more time.
I don't.
Well, you're going to be gone. That's
so we
right.
probably need to have
That's
something
true.
pretty
Shit. Yeah. The whole
But-
reason we're here tonight is because you're
But
going to
it's
be gone.
but it's okay. It's all right. I mean, it'll be fine.
Do you want to pick something
Unless there's
that
something
you guys
short
have-
that you guys know of that you want to play.
I don't know. I mean, do you want to pick something that you guys have always wanted to play and have been putting off? Or do you want to let the randomizer do it for
Well, if it's
us?
something like that, I feel like we need to. It's something we probably want to put time into if it's something we've wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Or we could do something we haven't wanted to, but we know is going to be a short play. Like, because I heard people drawing comparisons between T2 and this game, The Wizard of Oz.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Or is that too much
that's
shit?
dark.
Shit upon shit upon shit.
That's dark. Yeah. Or maybe we could play it and then be like, okay, Ian, now which is the worst game on the Super Nintendo? Wizard of Oz.
have you
is-
already done The Wizard of
No,
Oz?
but it is notorious. It is a notorious Super Nintendo game.
I'm down to try it.
Let's do it.
Knock
Okay.
it off the list.
Let's do
Wizard
it.
of
Let's knock it
Oz.
off the list. I can dedicate an hour to that.
There you go. There we go.
My wife has been playing a
And
puzzle
that's,
game.
yeah, I think that's all it will require.
Yeah.
My wife's been playing this Wizard of Oz puzzle game on her phone.
It's better than this.
It's one of those.
has to be,
It's
right?
one of those flip the jewel things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Like a match 3 kind of thing.
She
or-
is the most dedicated player of these games I've ever seen, and she sent me a screen. She's been playing the Wizard of Oz game for a couple of years now, and she does play this game a lot. Like anytime she's sitting in her chair in the living room, she's not up doing something in the house. She's playing this game. She hit level 5,000 today. She sent me a screenshot, and she has now hit level 5,000. She has beaten 5,000 levels of the Wizard of Oz jewel matching game, whatever it's called. So I just want to extend my congratulations.
Congratulations.
To horror priestess Tanya for reaching
Chicken
level
salad
5.
horror
Chicken
priestess.
salad horror priestess Tanya for reaching that insanely high number. I don't think I've ever played 5,000 levels of anything.
Is there a leaderboard or anything?
She's probably on it.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious.
I'll have to have her tell me. She might be the only one playing it still. I don't know.
I love that.
I hope
There's
so.
one dev's like, oh, I'll keep doing
I mean,
it. She'll
she's
keep doing it.
enjoying it. You want more? I'll give you more. I'm
The
going to
game's
ask
made by
her
Santa Claus.
about that. I'm going to ask her about that and see if she's on the leaderboard. I can't imagine she's not. She played Candy Crush until
Melissa still plays Candy Crush.
Well,
She's up there in the thousands.
she got to a point where there were no more levels yet.
There's no more candy to crush.
All the candy has been officially crushed. But she gets into those games and sticks with it. When we first got iPhones, this was back in like 2008, like a long time ago. It was iPhone 3G when the 3G came out. She got on Words with Friends, still plays it regularly. Gets creeped on a lot because she made the mistake of revealing her gender on her profile. But plays with some friends of hers and some friends of mine. But yeah, she just gets into these. She has like 3 games and plays them religiously.
How does one get creeped on in Words with Friends? Do they
because
spell
there's
shit?
a
Like,
chat.
yeah, right.
There's a chat.
Oh, okay.
You can like send messages to your opponent.
Uh-huh.
And my friend John, not Captain Gunner, but my other friend John, she plays with him still, and they'll chat back and forth and stuff. You know, that's how they kind of keep in touch. But yeah, there'll be dudes that'll come on and be like, "What are you wearing?" Like, let me spell that out for you. Fuck off, and she'll, ghost them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congrats.
And then she'll send a
honey.
pics or whatever.
She doesn't listen to this show, but I'm going to tell her that I congratulated her. Really weird achievement of 5,000 levels. I said that is weird, and my response to her, she sent that to me while I was on my way here, as I was dealing with the flopping mattress bag. Finally looked at it when I got here, and I responded, "That's really weird. But I love that you got that far. Keep it up." So good on you. Wizard of Oz next week.
Wizard of Oz. So thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show everywhere. You can find the show on internet.
If you can't find it, there's something wrong with you.
It's your problem. So yeah, got a lot of shit going on. Reviews everywhere, but most importantly, we got that Patreon.
Patreon's coming along nicely, and I am, as always, super, super grateful to everybody. And to show that appreciation, I am, in case you have been living under a TADPOG-free rock, running...
As most people have.
As most people have.
And this is the majority of rocks.
That doesn't make you in the majority at all. I mean, if you
we
know,
call that
you
the
know.
Earth's crust.
I am running another contest this month. We're getting close to, by the time this airs, we'll be getting closer to the end of October. You want to enter this contest, you can donate $1 or more, or increase a current donation by $1 or more before midnight before 11:59 p.m. October 31st in your time zone to be entered to win a selection of toys from my big toy box. A lot of Star Wars stuff in there.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
Had one of those yet.
just heard from
Frog pussy.
no, not again. Just heard from Naj. He got his stuff today. He posted pictures of what he won on the Discord. He was very happy with it. There was a big Han Solo action figure. It's actually a doll in a box.
What?
We
What?
got you.
Don't tell Dad.
We're telling your dad.
Don't tell Dad.
I sent an original first edition copy of the novelization of Star Wars: A New Hope,
And Model Land.
a first edition of.
I want Tyra Banks to write a Star Wars
do
novel real
too.
bad. Real bad.
With the characters from Model Land.
She can pick.
Whatever.
It could be like WB Multiverses. Put whoever you want in that
Yeah.
motherfucker.
No one talks about the fashion on Endor or whatever that planet is.
She'll win another Nobel Prize for it, I promise.
She's a Senate. She does fashion designs for the Senate. That's what we need.
Okay.
Also in the box was a first edition copy of the novelization of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. There was a Han Solo action figure from the Power of the Force collection back in the 90s. Some Star Wars comics, the Splinter of the Mind's Eye section, or series 1 through 4. He was very happy with these prizes. So you too can win some cool prizes that way. But
It does sound so wizard, Annie.
It does. It's so wizard. This is pod racing, though, because if you want to win this month, not only will you get a cool selection of stuff from my toy box, you also, courtesy of Paul Korn, are going to be able to win a special 2-character color commission artwork from Landon and Brandon Franklin of Wayward Cross Comics. Paul is going to foot the bill for this. If you win, I'm going to put you in touch with him. They will do a full color drawing of 2 characters of your choice. This is unique. This will be your artwork made for you, one of a kind. Huge deal. I love it. I love it. I love it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how erotic can the art be?
I don't know.
So 10 probably.
Probably a 10.
Probably a 10. Be my guess.
They'll do.
I mean, if it wasn't specified, then probably a 10.
I'm sure they'll do what you want, but you got to talk to Paul about that. But you can't talk to him about it unless you enter to win. So go to patreon.com/TADPOG, donate some money this month. Let's pledge some money to us, and we'll get you in that contest and spin the big wheel. If you want to see some examples of these artists' work, the Wayward Cross Comics artists' work,
It's really good work.
it's really cool
really is.
stuff.
It's really good work.
Look them up on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok by searching for Wayward Cross Art. And, excuse me, in addition, we already have a few entries this month. Jonathan Martinez, he entered again. He wants more stuff. He wants to win that. Usurper Grimm's in there. My Own Butt entered. Literally my butt
Your butt?
entered. I have no control over what my butt does.
Not many of us do, really.
It's ready to go to Cracker Barrel.
And of course, our longtime friend, Backlog Banisher Dane, is in. Looking forward to more entries, guys. Let's get those numbers up so we can make this a real contest, because that's a huge prize, in my opinion. We do have a list of executive producers, and these are the fine folks that donate $20 a month or more to the cause.
Fruit root.
Fruit root. I'm going to read that list right now, if you don't mind. Starting with cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron, Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Usurper Grimm, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Landon, Biscuit. Congratulations on your marriage.
And Method Man.
Method Man. Pinball Archmages Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller, and Drinksmith Joey Webster. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Thanks to everyone for all your generous donations each month. It really goes a long way.
It does.
And we love doing this show, so that only makes it that much better.
Yep. Thank you.
What else we got?
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and link to that track in the show notes at TADPOG.com. How you guys gonna close it out?
I mean, I think as Arnold, right? As the Terminator.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think it kind of goes right along with it.
Definitely.
So until next time, Tropical
Tropical
Capricorn.
Ah, fuck, I did
Around.
Mr. Freeze.
I did the guy from Predator. Shit. The other day, I was at Walmart just doing my grocery shopping, and I got in line in one of those self-check lines, not the little ones, but the big ones with the long checkout things, you know? And there was this one woman there, this old woman in front of me, and she had a little half thing. She was actively trying to steal shit. Like, she would have a box of yogurt cups, or 2 boxes, and she would fucking stack them and scan one and put both boxes into the bag.
Yeah.
But then the thing would say a possible misscan. So she flags down the attendant who comes over and has to fucking scan the thing and beep her out. And it's like, okay, that happens. No shit, that shit happened like 5 fucking times.
As long as I get one thing for free, it's all worth it.
And they weren't saying shit to her. But what was funny, it took 15 minutes for me to get to the fucking point where I could start checking out my groceries. This old woman was actively stealing from Walmart and getting busted and just wouldn't stop trying. And so finally, they let her go. They kept catching her, so she ended up paying for everything that she bought. But then, before I started checking out, the young lady that was helping her walks up and excuses herself in front of me. She says, "Excuse me, real quick, I just need to do this." And she punches some buttons, and I'm watching the screen run system report, and it prints out this like long receipt. So I think like she was trying, because this thing had fucking cameras on them now.
Yeah.
I think she was like printing out a receipt
to
go through and see like if she managed to get away with ripping them off. But I was like, lady, they are on to you. I felt like I wanted to say, like, stop. I'm literally watching you.
You're bad at this.
I'm not even trying to be subtle. I was staring at her doing this and she didn't even care. I'm like, well, I guess when I'm 80 fucking years old, I don't care either. What are they going to do? Put me in prison?
3 squares.
I know, right? I don't have to worry about shopping anymore, I guess. I don't know, but Jesus Christ. She was bad at it.